Oh, I can see
Maddy?
me.
Yeah, now everyone
no
else
one
is
else.
here. This is what happens when they leave me in charge. I'm learning a
that
thing.
faded as if Maddy was.
That's
You
like
were the
still-
Paramount logo coming into view, and then we're the of the THX.
GM lion.
I just want to be the lion.
Well,
If I had more warning, I would have
hey.
like.
Yeah, great.
Hello,
Hey,
everybody.
Welcome
Hi.
to this very special Misty Mountain Monday here on Misty Mountain Streaming. I'm the D&D wannabe. My name is Rob, and I'm going to try and fix my framing just a little bit here by actually repositioning a webcam. Hi, I'm still in Canada, and things are great. And it has not messed with any plans anyone has had all week.
None.
Not at all.
Absolutely not, yeah.
Turns out there's rules from going to Canada are way less strict than coming back, and it caused
Yeah,
a
it gets
delay.
weird.
Yeah, it caused a delay in me being able to make it back to run the stream myself. So Steve has generously stepped up, and he is in charge of the stream tonight, which is his first time doing that, and I'm very grateful that he is able to help out and try and give us closer to the experience that you guys are used to, rather than me having to do this from a laptop on a hotel internet connection.
And that's why we're late.
But here's the sad thing is if you were doing it that way, Rob, it still would have been better than if I was having to figure out how to do this myself. Like, I've already told all of them, I'm not worried to run the game. I'm worried I'm going to blow up Twitch. Like,
Blowing up
And then
Twitch
Elon
with your
Musk is gonna
amazing
swoop in and buy
cosplay.
yeah, they're going to be like, you got problems here, man. Let me just buy you too. Like,
No.
Speaking of people's first times doing things, this is going to be Tyler's first time running D&D on Twitch. So this is going to be cool.
Yeah.
And she's
and also first
I didn't
time
get to
running for a lot of them.
and I didn't get to say this earlier, but nice cosplay, fam.
Thank you. I
Yeah.
see singular Steven.
Oh, what have I done?
Weird.
Keeps
What happened?
Nice.
This is
Oh,
so
yeah.
smooth,
Steve,
you guys.
you have to keep Discord front and center.
Oh, it's because
Invisibility.
Did you pop us out or something?
I just minimized it so I could see my screen. Anyway,
No. You have 3 screens. Move other things you want to see to the sides.
it's a microphone in the
Blind.
way. Okay.
The microphone in the way.
I can't.
This is just
okay.
part of the
So well.
spookiness
Yeah.
of
Yes.
What if I do
horror
this?
Real life
adventure.
horror.
We're disappearing. We're ghosts.
Okay, that worked.
We all just.
We're never
Yeah,
here to
we
begin
all
with
just
for
get
any
along.
stream. Oh.
I don't know about y'all, but I'm getting along great. We do be just vibing right here.
Oh, I
Good
got air
in
my
Esther's
mouth.
world.
Do we have
Ooh,
any
nice.
channel announcements that we need to rock out before we turn things over to Tyler?
Well, I was going to say,
Ooh,
does
good idea.
Tyler, do you have anything you want to say before I get to channel announcements?
No, go ahead
Ooh.
because anything I have to say is about the game, so go for it.
Okay.
Though I can
Um,
say that after we wrap up this, we got another spooky thing coming where Rob is back as our DM, which means if you don't like me, you just got a couple weeks to suffer with it. It's fine.
If you don't like her, then you're going to have to deal with her as a player character in my spooky
People
thing.
tend to like my
Yup.
player characters, okay? People love CN, and I don't know why.
It's because
He's
spoilers,
hot.
It's because
little
you're playing
boy.
him.
It's a 2-foot tall fairy. It talks like this all the time. It's just real excited all the time anyway. Watch him on
Good.
Wednesday nights.
So for the short term, I have the Twitch stream manager pulled up on the big TV over to my left. That will be temporary because it's devouring my hotel internet. But I will say for now, I see Irish Mac and Grimforge and Mr. Adup. Of course, Mr. Adup would be in this chat right now. That's like a obligation. But we're delighted to have you anyway. Existential Nerd has made it. What's going on, everybody? Simply Yuki is here. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, we understand that we are experiencing technical difficulties. That is fine. Dancer Hawk also coming up. Almost late due to playing Mech Warrior online. Hey, we were
Ooh.
not even
We're
almost late. We were late. We're sorry.
And nobody else is late because We were 5 minutes behind.
Who was the character on South
Eh.
Park that just goes around? He was the CEO of BP or something. It's just we're
We're
sorry.
sorry.
We're sorry.
We're so
We're
sorry.
sorry. Anyway,
Sorry, not sorry.
oh hey, Bliss is here. Hello. All right. Let's actually get to the little announcements. I will try and keep them fairly brief. First of all, I was in Canada, still am. Calgary Expo, really cool. Met a person from the Discord here, Lucas Crescent Moon. Really cool to
Hey.
meet you. Don't know if you're watching tonight or not, or if you even watch these streams, but very cool to meet you. And if you're from the Discord and you're at a con that we're at, I hope you say hi and join us and do stuff. I was supposed to be at Planet this weekend. Sophie was supposed to be at Planet this weekend. Stuff happened in Sophie's life. She was not able to go. If you were hoping to see her there, I know she apologizes. She's talked about it in her personal Discord. Odds are you probably already know. But keep Sophie in your thoughts and prayers as stuff goes forward. I don't have all the details, and even if I did, I wouldn't be sharing them on Twitch. But do remember her if you would. Speaking of Sophie, our Friday night stream is the highly anticipated and much dreaded Rob and Sophie do a makeup tutorial together, and Rob becomes a goblin and puts dice in his beard. Stream. All of the stuff that I need to do this is in the mail, and I'm looking forward to not looking forward to it. That's going to be Friday night at 7. We have a very similar subscription goal for this month, which is coming fast to a close. We've already achieved the goal of me dressing up as a purple tiefling druid at some point next month. If you would like there to be a quasi-professional photo shoot of the event, then you can continue to up that subscription number. And if you would like very much for the nature of those photos to take a turn for the spicy, then continue to make that number increase even more. I know Steve has mixed feelings about this because he wants this channel to be a success, but he also doesn't want to see me with my shirt up and my pants down.
Because that would not make the channel a success.
That's because he's a wrong person.
Let's see. Also, thank you to Crux Tridentis, Zero Suit Meter, Just Killed Shirley, Volin, Blightwood Stoneflare, Avocado Bean, and GM Forever DM for your follows. Thank you very much. Welcome to the party. Thank you for helping this channel grow, and I hope you stick around and find something you like. Speaking of things that you might like on this stream, people besides me talk a little bit about yourselves. Maybe we should start with the dungeon Mistress.
What was
like
it? The Duncan. What was it that we called it the one time? The Duncan
The
Meister?
Duncan Duchess.
Duncan Mister.
Yeah.
I am the Duncan Mister.
Sure, I can talk about myself a little bit, but yeah, I'm Tyler, Cheesecake Panta cosplay. We're finally doing that thing for months where I was like, should I run a game? And now here we are. I've run games before, but this is my first time not just playing a game on Twitch, actually running it. But I'm also that kind of DM, as Rob has very kindly called me out on, that I don't really prepare. I have the idea and we go from there. Jane's the only one who's played with me before. She understands. So,
And it's always a great time.
yeah.
Hey, we hit a hype train already. Holy shit.
Yeah, we did.
All we
Crash
had to
Candy cosplay, whoever that is, carrying the hype train on their back.
I don't know that
Along with-
nerd.
I am
What a
Coda
cool
and Irish
person.
Mac getting us
You know they're
started.
canceled,
Thank
right?
You guys, woo! What's Sophie's little thing? Is the caramel
Caramel
dance? Or
dancing.
something?
Oh my
Whatever
god.
she did.
Ooh. Hey, I just
Can
noticed
ours
Crash
be
is.
like the Nene?
I just noticed Crash is in character with her costume tonight too.
Been this long? We've been staring at it for I know you've had stuff to do. I
Look, man, I've been
apologize.
looking at 3 different screens and I only familiar with what is on one of them right now.
I was about to say, am I the only one that you noticed? Because Ty is a different color.
I said Ty earlier.
Throwing that out there.
I said
Wait
Ty
a
earlier.
minute.
Are you
Yeah.
sure?
Mhm.
Although to be
be
fair, I
fair-
see you more in other colors than you without body paint.
And the one time I've played with Tyler, she was this color. So.
Yeah.
See, I'm
Yeah,
always
I
white,
lovingly
so
told
it
them in-
it doesn't
yeah.
make any difference.
Maddie's all gussied up too. Let's not forget about Maddie.
I can only
A
see
little
so much
purple
of Maddie. There we go.
eyeshadow.
Your perfect little
Whoa.
flapper makeup. We
Oh,
love to see it.
Everybody was nice. Everybody was nice.
Oh man, I'm gonna butcher this. Cinerio Vulpes. Thank you also for the follow,
Ooh.
and apologies for my terrible enunciation of your name. I just keep delaying the D&D, but let's go across the top of the screen. Hey, Mr. Hero of the Evening, I know you're not super proud of yourself right now, but I am still stinking grateful that you were able to make this happen. Who the hell are you?
Very nice. Hi, I'm
That is
Steven.
one way to do it.
I'm the person who's responsible for all of the shenanigans that happen before the stream, and only some of them that will happen during the stream.
Some of them.
Are we
Some of
introducing
them, you
characters?
say.
We're introducing characters. I'm going to be
Not yet.
playing... No,
Not yet. Because when we get there, I'm going to make you guys describe things.
Oh, shoot. Okay, I'm just going to hide under the
Ooh.
desk, and
No,
we can...
just tell-
It's Ellie's turn
Tell
to
us
talk
about
now.
Over my
yourself.
green screen.
I've been on this channel before. I was in all 10 episodes of the Rhymehold Ritual, which all the episodes are now on YouTube, which are pretty good. I like the way it started, and I liked the way it ended. And I'm also on Bardic to Inspiration, the Misty Mountain sponsored podcast, which will start releasing episodes again soon. That has a lot of currently released episodes that I think are pretty enjoyable to listen to, which is why it is not just the podcast that I make, it is also the podcast that I listen to the most. And that's
Yeah, it's 'cause
not
you can
purely out of narcissism, but is also quality control and entertainment. Whoa,
Oh,
100%
man, more
hype
hype.
train.
So
I've only ever seen that once before. And I'm going to take credit for it.
Hey, yet. This is going
You're
crazy.
right.
I am Coda and
It's
Irish Mac are
awesome.
getting into a cheer fight that Yuki and Crash have joined.
Level
Grim Force
3?
Right.
You guys are amazing.
I don't know what level
Hi,
3 is. I've never
three.
seen that before.
Ty, run things on this channel more often. Steve,
We don't even have to do anything.
Steve,
Bits
know what?
fight. Bits fight.
hang on.
No,
Wait
we
a minute,
gotta
wait a
get to the spooks.
We're gonna get to Ellie in a second, but I just gotta note that when I'm running the game, this doesn't happen. When I'm running the stream, this doesn't happen. So clearly, I'm the problem.
Yeah.
It's
just-
all coming together now.
We're
Yeah, how'd
recording.
you
Don't
know?
have this epiphany off air, right? Right now we're recording, and your boss can like go back and watch it.
Yeah, cut this.
Never.
We're not
thank
live,
you,
right?
Bailey, for saying hi. You guys are nuts. I love you all. Hey, Ellie.
Hi. I'm Ellie. Yeah, you can find me on Instagram and TikTok as Ellie D&D. I do D&D skits and cosplays and lots of fun stuff. And I show you my dog a lot. And I'm just happy to be here.
We're glad you're here too. I guess we'll go ahead and spoil now that 5 of these faces will be taking part in the next little D&D project.
Yeah.
It's also going to be
I'm playing a very different character in that one than I am in this one.
Yes.
And given what I know about the character in this one, that's a good thing.
Hey, listen, I want to do a full campaign with this character.
God, that would be great.
I would love for her to show up as an NPC eventually.
Oh, that would
But
be
it's like
tough.
bad news.
Yeah.
And then we're all just kind of like,
She's
Oh.
the BBEG.
hey.
Yes.
Hey, Maddie.
Hi, I'm Maddie.
Hi,
Hey guys, I am on all the socials as Mademoiselle. If you get the pun, it's like Mademoiselle in French, but my name's Maddie. I felt really clever when I came up with that.
I get
You
it.
are.
But yeah, I like to cosplay and dress up and stuff. So go check that out once we're done playing here.
She's like really good at it. It's fantastic.
Ah,
Um,
I'm
She
bad at
is
taking compliments, but
tiefling.
thank you.
If you think any of these girls are hot, their socials are all under their names. You
Oh,
can go
yeah,
stalk them right
now
now.
there's my Instagram,
Do
so go follow us.
What am I saying? If you think these girls are hot, go follow them on Instagram.
You're like, don't follow him, just stalk.
Oh my goodness! Wow! Oh shit! More channel things are happening. I'm not gonna be able to close
So
this.
many.
Oh wait,
Let's
guys,
go for
Let's
hype
go.
train.
we're at
Oh my
69%.
We're at 69%.
Yeah.
Nice.
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 More.
Oh,
We
God.
can go further.
Have
can go
thank
further
you
than anyone
for your
before.
generosity. Cheesecake Panda Cosplay, this is your stream. What are you doing in the chat?
The limit does not exist.
Listen, we
Yeah.
can multitask.
You
it's
haven't
fine.
let her start talking yet, so of course she's in the chat.
Rico the Lich King showed up. What up? Oh gosh, wow, you guys are.
It is
You
hot
guys-
in this
I-
It's gonna be a
studio.
problem.
It is hot in that studio.
Damn.
Guys,
Yeah.
you guys fucking rock. Like I am very grateful to be associated with this community that you guys are building. Okay. I think that's the channel stuff. I will still try and pay attention to what's going on in the chat. All the normal channel points rewards are here. If you are new to the channel, see what you can do with those things.
Also, hi, Jane. I don't know if we got to let you say.
Did we
who
do
you
Jane?
are.
Fuck! I forgot. I was skipping me.
You
always
we
forgets
just
about Jane.
Ignore it.
I'm used to being the.
This person is
Sorry,
never
okay.
explained.
I'm used to
everyone,
being.
we're
Who's
good.
Where am I? I'm used to being there. Is
Wait,
it
you guys
there?
can see me?
I was never introduced.
Oh my god!
Wait, where am I?
Jane, I've talked to you so much today. I was done.
Right? It just seems like,
I wanted
oh
to-
yeah, everybody else knows that she's been here.
Jane, if you can tell, I'm frazzled today. Okay. I'm sorry,
You don't say.
guys. Unsubscribe. I forgot Jane.
Or
No,
don't.
resubscribe because he forgot Jane, and now he has to be punished by doing a lewd shoot of a tiefling. That's the logic
Let's
here,
go.
ladies and
Let's get
gentlemen.
Wait,
those
Jane, what was our subscriber goal for our like?
The whole thing is 100. Yeah.
What was our subscriber
thing.
goal for
Okay,
like
photo
our
shoot
collaborative
happening.
spicy Rob cosplay?
Oh,
Oh shit, I forgot.
no.
I'll put on a beard and get spicy. Let's go.
250.
About the beard.
250.
Please no. Just.
I got inspiration for being forgotten. I already love this game.
Who are you?
The Rob Jane rivalry
Jane, who are
continues.
I am Crash Candy Cosplay.
Woo.
Full stop. That's all you get. Let's get to the game. You'll find out.
There's a rule on this channel that D&D cannot start until at least 7:25.
That is
You got
correct.
1 minute.
You got 1
You
minute.
1 minute.
Fill
No, I
the
was
time,
going to
fill the
explain
time.
for everybody. The normal channel points are in there where you can buy your players guidance or inspiration. If you happen to do a Dungeon Master's Accomplice for this one, you will eventually get to see it. Just know it's going to do some pretty wonky things in terms of my monster.
Looking
I
cute.
can't tell you immediately, but you'll get to see. It's great.
Oh
So
boy.
Maddie just got inspiration too.
Thank you.
Oh yay!
I'm so inspired.
All right,
Why
but
are you the cutest
the-
human I've ever met?
do we have any more announcements that need to be said, or should we just?
I've just updated the subscriber goal because you guys blew the last one out of the water. So no, you have already succeeded. It does. Me moving the goalpost does not mean that you have not already succeeded. There is just a third and final goalpost,
We gotta succeed more.
which
We gotta
I'll
do
admit,
it.
I
We can
didn't
go
think
further
we'd get close
beyond.
to. I did not think. I thought I was safe.
That was the spicy Rob shoot. So this is the next goal.
With this
No,
crew?
no, no,
You're
the-
never
the-
safe,
the
Rob.
Yeah.
The shoot was the 75. The spicy shoot is the 100.
Oh no, I meant the
Let's
spicy
go,
Rob.
guys.
We can go
Come on.
further.
We
Yeah,
can
when
go
we do
further.
Rob and pretend that we're spicy.
Yeah.
No
I have to
one
pretend I'm spicy because God, I'm not.
Can I sub
False.
contract? Can I delegate the purple tiefling spicy druid shoot to one of you
Now
cosplaying
hold
as
on
me.
here,
No,
Rob.
no,
Hold
no,
on.
no.
Hold up
No,
here.
no,
That's
no.
not what people are
You're not in a
subscribing
DM
for.
position right now, big guy. You don't
You
get to
think you'll
make
make
the
the rules?
rules. You think that you're in charge here?
You said urine.
You're gonna have to take your shirt off. And you're gonna be purple.
Touche. All
A
right.
lot of body pain if you gotta take the top off.
Steve
Yeah.
Every time
abandoned
Rob
it.
makes a
Okay,
bad pun,
I
he has
know
to
Hey,
I'm a
also,
big
he
guy,
gets to
but
suffer
come on.
for all of us who have done like a full body paint, and it's a nightmare.
Yeah.
I am. Yeah, I'm sorry for the floor of my tub already.
Mine's
so
still
Yeah,
blue
that-
from Jester.
That'll
Yeah.
happen.
I'm done, Ty.
Okay.
It's you.
All right. Well, we lost a Steven.
Just parlayed.
It's okay.
It was too much.
He
Yeah.
vanished. He'll be back
think-
though.
I think he's starting the fan.
I'm moving fans.
Oh, that makes sense. Well, if you can hear, then we'll get finally going to the game. I look
Oh,
every
right, we're
time I
doing
look at
that.
myself in the little Discord camera, I just see Jigsaw, the puppet.
Now that you say it,
Frick.
Where's the lie, though?
I mean,
open.
Spicy dick.
Jigsaw be looking kind of cute then. I don't
I have-
know.
I have mixed feelings whenever you make eye contact with the camera. That I'm a little thrill-timidated.
that's
During
my
the break,
character.
During the break, I'll draw some little. Ugh. All right.
Jigsaw, how you doing?
And also,
Hey, girl,
simply you
hey.
keep calling me out for the worm face because that's what Yuki and I do all the time together.
Yeah.
Anyway, we will get going into our game, and I will give everybody the little disclaimer now that this is Lovecraftian. It is scary. I'm aiming to be scary, but at the same time, look at the 5 people I have on this screen with me. Like, we're not going to be serious and scary the whole time.
She's got
It's
her
just
work
not
cut
going to
out for her.
happen. Yeah.
Just wait.
That's not going to happen all the time, but regardless, just so that you know, there is going to be some spookies, some like blood, that kind of thing, but we're not going to delve anything to like super dark or creepy, don't need to worry too much about triggers. And if I think that we do have something, I will make a note of it before we get there, just because that's how horror works, and I want everybody to feel comfortable here, even though this is supposed to be scary. My second note is all my players get to be level 8, which is very fun.
Yeah.
I very
we were
rarely get to
power.
make these
Meeting.
characters.
This character's
That's
a
a first on this
problem.
channel, isn't it? Being
Yeah, we've gone
higher
as high
than
as
5.
5.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's nicer than you, is what that means.
I let people play monsters.
That's why she gets hype trains.
That was pretty fun.
I get the hype trains. Oh, yeah.
Choo.
Oh, everyone that didn't have inspiration, Hawk just bankrolled us, and thank you, Mugface, for the follow.
Yeah, I
Thank
think
you.
everybody is starting with an inspiration, thanks to
Aw.
Hell
oh,
yeah.
and the one person who got Jane inspiration for being forgotten.
And then Maddy got one as well, right?
Yes, I did.
So Maddy,
Yeah, everybody. I saw them all roll in for everybody. So,
see me rolling.
and Yuki just bought me a DM's accomplice, so I'll make a note of that.
Oh.
Yuki would.
Note of it.
Of course, my friend would. Okay. Well then, if anybody has nothing else to say, I think we should get going on the reepies.
The Queepies.
Do it.
I'll do my whole game intro like that. It was a dark and stormy night.
Perfect.
So scary.
Yeah. All right then. Here we go. I have a bit of a different sort of game opener that doesn't immediately start with our party, but it's gonna be good regardless. And I hope you can all hear me because these headphones are buried in hair. But
It's ASMR.
yeah. No, nobody probably heard that.
I did.
Yeah, well, here we go. We're gonna get going for everybody because I've been making them wait long. Rob has been making them wait long enough. Yeah, the night is still and silent, a petrifying dark if not for the moon shining overhead. Deep within the forest, a small hooded figure pulls across. Can't talk. A small hooded figure pulls along a wooden cart. This is why I didn't put in tiefling teeth because it just Would have been like the
Oh god,
marriage.
those fangs.
The marriage.
Wheels creak as the halfling moves along. Figure stops abruptly, checking the crossroads ahead of them for bandits. Or worse. Intent that they aren't being followed, the halfling continues, heaving the cart as the wheels groan in protest. Off in the distance, peeking between the heavy pine trees, a large circus tent can barely be seen fluttering in the wind. The figure gazes through the thick canopy, eyes fixed on the glimmering lights of the village, just as a fog begins to roll in. Her eyes scan the tree line for any movement as they continue forward. The halfling risks assault. I wrote that wrong. My apologies. The halfling risks assault. A small smile. I typed my words incorrectly in my thing, trying to type it fast. The halfling risks a small smile as they come across the last hurdle in sight. Small bridge situated over a tiny babbling brook. The cart squeals as they step across the old battered bridge. Almost as this is why
I love
don't
these
do-
sounds.
You're doing great, Ty.
That's the
I'm so
ASMR part.
scared.
I had it so nice. I'm reading it off my phone. I had it so nice on a big sheet that I could see everything, and now it's all tiny. Anyway, but yes, the cart squeals as they step across the old battered bridge, as if crying out a warning that came a second too late. The thick air fills with screams, cries for help, whimpers in the dark, and a dull crack as a body hits the ground. And then the forest is quiet once more. Silence stretches for a moment or two, before suddenly, the creature shudders. Standing over the halfling as false, thick tears fall onto the ground that is soaked with blood. A gnarled, lanky hand reaches out to caress the halfling's cheek, now long cold. Through the quiet in the forest, all that can be heard is a grotesque cry turns into a gnarled, mocking laugh. The beast claps in excitement, an overly long tongue sliding across the blood on its cheek. The cart rocks backward, squealing as its wheels drown out the sickening crunch of blood and bone cracking on the surface of the ground. It hurtles down into a small ditch, not to be seen again, as the creature drags its prey off into the trees. Forest silent once again. Into the party, several days after this incident, along the same little path. For weeks, you've all been seeing flyers for the Moonlight Festival taking place in the Evergreen Borough. For the most part, you all ignored them. Didn't really seem of much interest to you. That is until our intrepid Virgil came across a cloaked woman placing warning signs all over any of the flyers she could find. Upon asking what she was doing, the woman simply smiled, somewhat disturbed, and simply said, "The feast has begun. Along the bramble path with the dense forest trees. The beast hungers in the dark." Just as quickly as she was found, the woman was gone. And this has set our party off onto a trip to the Evergreen Borough. A dangerous curiosity tickling in all of your minds. And now we get to meet our lovely little party, and I'm going to start with Stephen because you seem to hate it so much.
Why
So
is
Stephen.
it always-
I think
Steven,
I called on you first in the in the Rhymehold ritual too
yep.
to tell me what you were doing.
Yeah, you did.
I just want you to describe Virgil for me. Tell me
It really is a horror
about
campaign.
Virgil, what he looks like. If you would like to tell his class and race, you may. But yeah, just tell me about your character. Tell me all about Virgil and what weirdness he's doing on this forest path as you're all walking through.
Well, just like last time, Virgil will be leading the way, driving the cart if we have one.
You're walking
Walking?
barefoot for right now
Walking.
because it's very thick.
He thinks
Good.
he's driving a cart.
Yeah, he's up in the front.
Yeah.
What's it? Brake.
Little bit.
Change gears.
Cars have not been invented.
Okay. Virgil, or Mr. or Professor Walker, is a wood elf who is the one who instigated this little trip after finding that notice and having this conversation with this woman. His curiosity was piqued. Despite being a publicly retired professor, he is also somewhat of an amateur paranormal hunter and enjoys, looking for cryptids and investigating haunts and things like that in as much spare time as he can afford. He is if we're doing classes and stuff, he is a ranger. Um, as far as his appearance goes, he's a older wood elf. Elves normally don't show a lot of sign of aging, but he's got a few. He's got the crow's feet. There's a couple of laugh lines that are starting to show up, but he's also got kind of a concerning look to him. He's a little bit disheveled. It looks like he's not quite put together from like a clothing standpoint and maybe a mental standpoint too. He is wearing disheveled clothes. It looks like they were washed and then probably thrown in a corner somewhere and just left to wrinkle. He wears a little bit of a tie that is never quite adjusted correctly. His hair is white and always messy. Like it probably hasn't seen a comb in months, if not years. Barely hasn't been trimmed, and he has a full beard that is very kind of scraggly, except for the mustache, where he's fussing with it constantly. So the mustache is very, very well groomed, very well twiddled, and none of the rest of it. But despite all these other apparent signs of aging, his eyes are still very sharp. And he carries a longbow on his back just at all times when traveling. I know other people are going to have so much better descriptions, so I'm trying to think of anything else. Green eyes, done.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, good. I'm gonna move over his spouse, Miss Esther.
Oh. So Esther Alighieri Walker is a half wood elf, aberrant mind sorceress. She stands at about average height for a half elven woman, so around 5'6", 5'7" ish, with the heels on though. She has dark black brown hair, green eyes, always wearing a perfect face of makeup, lots of jewelry, looking a little too glitzy maybe for the journey ahead, but that's just how she prefers to be. She is a not quite retired burlesque performer and purveyor of the eldritch entities and dark arts, along with her spouse. So yeah, that's what she's got.
I love the juxtaposition that you are always so put together, even when you're on the road, and I am never put together, even if I'm at one of your performances or anything like that.
Better together, baby.
Yeah. There's also really lovely art of the two of them on Crash Candies.
Aw.
You can check out later.
Yes.
Yeah. I will move to Moira. What are you doing? Or Maura, not Moira. Moira,
I was
what
like,
are you doing?
People now
watch?
Moira.
Maura is probably taking the back of the party, just like keeping an eye on everyone. She stands 6 feet tall. She is a scarlet red tiefling with slick back, long black hair, and her horns are also kind of slick back. And again, very tall for a tiefling. She has a flail that the handle is a crowbar, so she's probably just kind of swinging that beside her as she walks. And she wears a pinstripe
Forgot
suit.
about that.
Yeah, I love it. I'm making it.
So good.
She wears a pinstriped suit, but underneath she has her little button down that's open and a breastplate that looks like a suit vest and an arm, like pauldron down arm of armor. So she is into the less legal things. She is a mob enforcer, the right hand of a very prominent kingpin or queenpin in in the town we're coming from. So that's her mom, and she's the one that if someone needs to get taken care of and maybe not come back, she'll make sure that they're taken care of.
All right. Moving to the cousin, it's Delphie.
The juxtaposition in this party.
I
Yes.
know. All of you went opposites, and then we have Robin.
Yes.
Like,
Opposites.
And that's how we became the Brady Bunch.
yeah.
So Delphie is Maura's cousin. She's probably walking right alongside her much taller cousin. Delphie is a purple tiefling that stands at about maybe 5'2" in her heels. She's a small little lady. She's got sort of dark black bob cut, a little beret. Her horns are really little, teeny tiny little forehead spikes. And she's got this cute little, like, indigo and white, almost nautical-esque 20s style dress, but there's a armored corset in the center, just so you know she's got to stay safe out there. And she's got these little gloves that match her outfit, and at her collar there's a little ribbon, and on top of the ribbon there is this very specific little symbol of her god that she worships because she is a cleric of trickery. And it is a little balance scale. And on one side there is an open eye, and on the other side there is a closed eye. And we'll get into that a little bit more later, I think.
Yeah.
I forgot to say, Maura is a Oath of Devotion paladin. I realized I forgot to mention that.
I mean, I forgot all of my outfits, so you're good.
It's pretty.
Thank you.
It's what she's
Oh,
wearing.
no.
What she's wearing is what she's wearing.
Yeah, I was like standard.
Yeah, we'll just say that. Why not? Big fluffy black collar thing.
Yeah. And Ellie and I have both posted pictures of our
I was
characters on our Instagram
to
as
say
well.
that.
They're
too.
super cute.
Yep.
Go look at them.
They're great. Everybody did awesome with making these characters. And finally, we have Huxley. Tell me all about Huxley.
Actually.
Thank you to Isyi for showing up in the chat. Always a delight to see you here. And thank you to the pretty DM for the follow. Tyler, I didn't know you had an
Ooh.
alternate Twitch account.
Aww.
Ah.
What?
And
There's a
also,
second panda in here? I'm so confused. Figure it out later. Go ahead.
He said you were
In the
pretty.
hotel coffee cup.
Yep.
Never been more relatable.
Yeah. Getting into character.
Lee is walking a little bit apart from the rest of the party because he doesn't want the smoke to irritate anyone. And he understands that there's a little bit of a funk of cheap booze that surrounds him. Huxley is wearing what was probably once a pretty distinguished-looking gray duster and cap with a wide brim. Fedora, is what he believes any good detective should wear. And once upon a time, Huxley was a good detective. Well, he's walking at the back of the group, not just because of the smell of the smoke, but because his legs are significantly shorter than the rest of the party, being the gnome that he is. Probably the first gnome you've seen with a 5 o'clock shadow. He is spending his time admiring the back of Esther's dress as she walks, and
At his eye level.
continuing
It's like he physically can't help.
and continuing as ever to be confused as to how such a gorgeous lady could ever have wound up with his good debacle friend Virgil Walker. And that's what Huxley's doing.
Hate to see
I
you
love that we've
leave,
all
but I
said
love
we're
to
at the
watch
back.
us walk.
What can I say? I like
I
what
was-
I like.
Terrified all of you were going to use that accent for this entire game.
Yep.
I'm walking here.
I'm walking here.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
We're-
Maura does sound a
we're
little
just
bit
getting
like
started.
this.
Yeah.
There's more where that came from. There's at least 3 weeks of this.
That's we're coming from New York, right?
Yeah.
Sure.
I mean, we got Italian. You can have transatlantic. You can do whatever you want.
I like that. Irish Mac gets it in the chat. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
Right. Well, as everybody can tell from watching, we have quite the wild party. And this is why I've been telling everybody that everyone's characters are amazing.
It's
they
just
leaned
New
into this.
Yorkers. That's how it
They
is.
leaned into this, and
Have
we're
you ever
like,
been on a
okay.
subway?
Yeah, this is just a friend group.
We're all walking down the street, literally saying, "I'm walking here. Are you
I'm
walking? Are you
walking
walking
here.
here?"
I'm walking here. You walking here?
God.
Yeah, this is gonna be real serious, guys.
Yeah, this is why when somebody in the chat was like, "What's
See,
the
we got to
spirit
get the
level?"
sillies in now because I
Yeah.
know we're going to be peeing our pants later, probably.
The first bit of this isn't so bad. It's in the ends that I'm hoping I get you. But
Mm.
anyway, but yes, you were all walking along the same path as the halfling had been just a few days earlier. I have no idea who that is, or even that anything happened to somebody on this road. You're about a mile outside of town. You can just kind of see some things cresting off in the distance. If you really peek through the trees, as they're pretty thick. At this particular time of day, it is dusk now. It's a pretty clear day, which is uncommon for this area. Usually it's cloudy, rainy, dreary. But today has actually been rather nice. It's dusk, and the stars are beginning to just kind of twinkle a little bit in the sky. You've been traveling for most of the day by foot, as this particular path you could try to get a cart through, but it would have to be a pretty tiny cart like the one the halfling had because well, it's a very dense forest, and it's hard to get things through, so it's easiest just to go by foot. You've all been probably bantering more than you have conversing throughout most of the day, just based off of the way you guys handled session 0 and name-calling each other. But yes, as you're walking along, everybody give me a perception check, please.
Ooh.
And Virgil, you may roll this with advantage for right now because of your rifle.
This is a good time to mention that I, believing that I would be home right now, don't have any dice with me.
I'm
Had this
not.
problem earlier.
I'm not using your very pretty fancy dice because I don't want to curse them. That's a lie I do. But I'm going to be using D&D Beyond as well in solidarity.
I thought I might just have
Oh, these are nice.
somebody roll my dice whenever
Okay.
my
I'll do
things
that.
came.
Here you go.
You trust
You got
your
a
brother
4.
to roll your dice?
Yeah, there we go. I'm perceiving something, just not whatever it
Yeah.
is that
What-
You're
Tyler
perceiving
You're
the
perceiving
back of
the
Esther.
back of your flask.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's I got an 8, so
Okay. Got a
I
4.
got a 9. We're so distracted.
Wow. Oh no.
I got a 12, but that's my base perception stat anyway, so I guess that counts.
Yeah.
I got a
Virgil, what did you
21.
get? Okay.
Okay, well, we're good.
okay.
Thank goodness one of you.
This is why if you walk in front of Esther and you can get a 21.
Hey, that's my aunt. What are you talking about?
Joking in the Discord that Virgil's like the tinfoil hat guy, so I just imagine Virgil's in the front just going like slapping reins that aren't there.
He sees everything.
No,
Yeah.
I got tired of rolling low, so I made a skill monkey this time. So
You're like, I
There
can
you
see
go.
sounds.
All right.
I've
As you guys are walking, the
expertise
cousins
in
are
4
having
things.
little bits of talk here and there, probably more so Delphie. Kind of blabbering. She seems like the type that would probably do that.
Yeah, she's
And
just
Maura's
talking
just
nothing.
listening. Huxley is a little too busy, kind of like with his flask, just kind of going. Yeah. You 3 don't really notice much of anything. Esther, with a 12, you begin to notice it's getting dark a little quicker than you thought it might. And Virgil, with a whopping 21, you are the only one begins to notice as a thick fog begins to kind of tickle around everyone's ankles and begin to roll in from beside the trees.
Well, it's so far down there. I couldn't see it.
You look back and you can't see Huxley anymore. No, I'm kidding.
Thanks for joining the stream, Rob. Nice.
Yeah.
Huxley, you really gotta stop smoking. Scans of kills.
Huxley, you should come on up here with me so that you don't get left behind in the fog.
Fog. I know that. I was locked that the moment it happened. Course. Yeah.
Yes.
Excuse me.
Nothing escapes your notice.
I'll join him at the front.
I'll tuck my little walking stick up under my arm and put my other hand on a little short sword that I keep strapped at my waist and just kind of keep sauntering on like I was using the cane to assist me earlier, but obviously don't need it. I'm actually having to slow down so that everyone else can keep up with my old ass.
I was picturing Huxley just
Places to
sprinting
be.
to get to you.
And I'll hold out my hand for Esther, like my elbow, like people do. It's like, come along, dear. We mustn't get separated. Bring the children on.
Delphie
not.
reaches up to hold Maura's hand.
I guess we're speeding up a little bit. What's the hurry?
Yeah, what's the problem?
Oh no,
Bring
no,
shoes that are supposed to go faster than this.
no hurry, no hurry. This is a leisurely trip, and absolutely, just for rest and relaxation,
yeah.
little R&R. But it's best that we stick
Running
together
and
so as
running?
not to get
Doll,
so that we
I'll
don't
look.
get separated in the fog.
I'll look down at Virgil. Doll,
Mm-hmm.
don't make me peer. What's the problem?
Oh, it's nothing. It's just this terribly unseasonable. This fog. Not what one
Might
would
just be an
expect.
out of towner thing. You never know.
You'd think I'd be used to it with all the smog in the cities, but no, let's just all try to stick together. Don't go wandering off there, Delphie.
I'll try my best.
I gotta.
Thank you, Maura.
Of course you do. And I just keep
anytime.
casting backwards glances just to make sure.
Okay. You guys keep going for probably about another, say, 5 to 10 minutes. At this point, the fog has gotten pretty thick, to the point that when I was writing this, I kept having little moments of like the Elden Ring trailer of wintry fog going through my mind the whole time. But yeah, it's beginning to get foggier. You really can't see much past the tree line. Like basically you can see kind of first tree, maybe a tiny little bit of the next one following it. If you look up, you can't see through the canopy anymore. You really only know that you're going in the correct direction because of a nice, pretty well-worn little path of foot traffic, as a lot of people tend to come for this festival that you're on your way to. Virgil, with a 21, because you did so well, you are beginning to hear some little, every now and then, like a little, maybe like a leaf rustle, maybe the crack of a branch. You gather maybe they're just animals nearby, and you're not really sure if that's what it is or if it's potentially paranoia playing up.
I'm terribly sorry. I must have gotten something in my shoe. You lot go along. You know I'll catch up. You lot run on ahead. I'll be right there.
Do you want me to stay with you?
No. It's all right. You keep Huxley company. I do know that sometimes these children just terribly bore him. It's just, you know
We
I'm
tend to be real boring.
I'm good for it, darling.
All right.
That's it.
Like I said, I don't want to worry the little ones. It's probably nothing.
You act like they're still just little girls. They're grown women, you know.
Well, not just because a woman can take care of herself doesn't mean she should have to, darling. You know that.
I'll pretend.
Thank you, darling. Thank you. You do know how Huxley works.
She kind of rolls her eyes and she'll go with Delphie and Maura.
Oh, this bothersome stone. I'll be right back. Just a moment. And I'll just bend over to tie my shoe and just kind of slink back into the fog so that no one can see me as I string my bow and start following along.
It's like Homer Simpson, like in the bush, just.
Which way is backwards?
Did we all three just do it?
We all just did.
It's
I,
the urge.
Is there any chance I overheard the conversation or even bits of that conversation?
Give me a. Would you actively want to try to listen into it, or are you thinking more of just like, did you maybe catch some of it?
If they're having a whispered, it's just, any whispered conversation I feel like I would be interested in.
Okay, then give
as
me
a force of habit.
Yeah, then give me. I was asking that because if you were just trying to like listen in, it would have been more like a perception. But if you're actively trying to get something from it, I'll let you do an investigation.
You roll a d20 for me?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I'll-
Do you trust the
Come
DM
back.
to roll your d20?
Whoever, sure.
I think Steve got it.
I'll roll it for you. I roll badly. You rolled an 11.
Okay, that's a 19 for me.
Excellent. Yeah, you definitely were able to hear probably more of that than somebody would even gather that you could have from that. Like, you pretty much heard the whole conversation.
I muse to myself as Esther begins to walk up towards the group and think, now when he said the little ones, was he talking about me or the young ones? 'Cause really, that's
You did say that he read into
a
it.
confusing term. Huh. Miss Esther, if I may, it is beginning to get cold. Would you perhaps like to borrow my coat?
Oh, I've got plenty of furs on, but thank you, doll.
It probably wouldn't fit you, and it was silly.
Hands out jacket from like Child Gap. Go.
Hell yeah.
Still would like to offer. Anyway.
Off screen, that got
let
me.
us.
If it
Let-
makes
let
you
us
feel
be on
better,
our
I
way.
could borrow your jacket. My hand's a little cold.
That's quite all right here. Yeah. And I'll begin to disrobe. So I got a little something else to keep me warm. So you go right ahead, Miss
You're
Delphie.
quite the gentleman, thank you. And she just kind of like sticks her hands in the arm sleeves and
Oh, like a snuggie.
Yeah.
Makes me very happy. All right, and he will start to like offer an elbow towards Esther, and they're like, "Nah, that's stupid." And he'll just walk down, he'll walk down the path.
Strill just kind of be walking like the old woman from Aristocats.
Oh, yeah.
Just a little saunter with her little furs on. Who is
no.
the MILF.
Oh,
Love her.
The
Aristocats. So good.
I think as we're like walking, Maura is like, I don't expect to see anything because of like how he described it, but like still like trying to like not worry Delphie, but like peeking over her shoulder to see if like she can see what he's up to.
Yeah.
Like, is the fog thick enough that like I can't even see his silhouette, or like can I?
How far back are you wanting to stay, Virgil?
Oh, 20, 30 feet maybe.
Oh yeah, then
Oh,
you
yeah,
can't.
probably not.
Yeah, you can't see him.
I'll be, like,
But if
peeking
you would
back.
like to make, I'll let you choose between investigation or perception as a check, just to see how well you're keeping track of things around you guys.
I'll do that perception for that spicy +1.
Ooh,
Yeah, baby.
solid.
So that's a 6.
yeah.
I can't. It's all the fog lays really low, and I'm real tall, so I can't
Yeah.
see. I can't see the ground.
Get all your
Yeah.
low rolls out of the way now.
Yeah,
Right.
Mhm.
yeah,
He's about to go to jail.
yeah. No, think every now and then you maybe hear a little crunch of like something off maybe on the side of the road or something like that. It's kind of hard to hear, as every now and then when you think you hear something, immediately you just hear Delphie's voice pipe up beside you, and it's gone. It's John.
Yeah.
You can't hear.
One time where I
Yeah. Back
Yes,
in
sweetheart,
band
I know.
camp.
I,
No.
I was there. That was last week at our house.
I know it was just a really good time.
Yeah, you know what? I'm glad we share this memory.
Oh, this is slightly Harley Quinn.
It's a very good.
Yeah. All right. At this particular point, it's dark now. Virgil, you cannot really see them ahead of you, as you are far enough back that they cannot see you. However, from the dark, and I'm really, really hoping that this plays and you can hear it. Let me get things going real fast. But from dark, or from out of the fog, you begin to hear sounds that sound like an animal might be getting closer, but Virgil, you specifically, having tracked things before, quickly began to place that there's something off here. Not quite what you would expect to hear of an animal. Some things that just don't seem normal, especially with your background. And just as you're beginning to think maybe I should quicken my pace, get back to the group just in case something happens, begin to hear.
Nice.
hear-
It was a garbage disposal at first, and I was wrong.
I don't
Let's
like
do the
that.
fork and the
That's all
garbage
we're
disposal.
okay.
That's not
Ding,
enjoyable.
ding,
Ding, ding, ding, ding, ding, ding.
Yeah. Like when you drop a ring in there. Yeah. So for anybody who couldn't hear that well, because I originally thought maybe I'd be able to pull it up on my computer and do it, and things have been technical, so I'm not even going to try it. But that was the sound of the bear from the movie Annihilation, that essentially what you hear coming out of the fog, what sounds like a mix between a roar and like a human scream. It doesn't sound right. That sounds like some type of creature mimicking the human scream. Like you just hear coming out just like a ow! Like it does not sound right.
So
in
we
the
all
slightest.
heard that, right?
Yeah, you all heard that.
I've definitely grabbed Delphie and shoved her behind me.
I hug you around the waist.
I'm like, I got you.
Virgil starts fumbling. Like Virgil,
I'm like,
Virgil has a little bit of a hang up that certain ends are for certain things. And we'll probably get more into that later. But anyway, he puts his longbow away because this problem probably calls for something more than his longbow, and he just starts sprinting towards the. How close to the rest of the group does this sound? Like quite close, or like?
It's so loud, and especially from where you are, that you gather it's probably coming from behind the group. But it sounds like it's reverberating from every direction as you're running from it. The only direction you can really catch is that it seems to be coming with with the direction that you're running. And the second that you grab that gun, that you even so much as touch it, like your fingers hit the metal or the wood on it, you begin to get that tingling sense of danger, danger, danger.
Ooh, it's starting so fast. Okay.
Spicy.
I warned you guys. I warned you.
Lots of things to do in this situation. Okay. Well, first thing I'll do is I'll just go ahead and run up to catch up with the rest of the group, and I have 40 feet of base movement, so I should have enough to get in the lead, just in case something untoward happens. And then let's see. When I'm holding the gun, it means that we can't be surprised because it's a rifle of warning. But that we're already surprised, and we're already not surprised at the same time.
I'm very
We know something is here.
You definitely are a little less surprised having had your weapon out with you, all that kind of stuff. And as you get closer to them, a little bit of a calm that seems a little bit familiar to them begins to kind of, slide over, kind of like something's not right here, but like, we can handle it. We've handled things like this before. It's that effect. For everybody watching, he has a magical rifle. I let everybody take a magical weapon, and Virgil has a magical rifle. So
So I'll I'll just kind of do a baseball slide to the front of the group and go ahead and load the thing and level it to try to get ready for whatever it is that's coming.
Did you say it was
Whatever is
coming from
coming.
behind us?
It seems to have been coming, running with him almost, but it for right to left, that sort of thing, you can't tell which direction it's. Yeah.
Gotcha.
And he'll just whip around back and forth, and he'll just ready in action to take a shot if something pierces the fog.
Seeing my good friend Walker with his gun out, I will resignedly put out my cigarette, put what is left of it into a silver case, put it in my coat, and hold my cane at the ready.
Say, Maura has she's got Delphie behind her, and she just kind of adjusts her cufflinks, because those are my gauntlets of ogre power, and so I'm like, all right, let's play a fucking game.
Hey.
The
Atta
gun,
girl.
the gun will be a warning it's literally a gun of warning. But if you believe all of Virgil's or all of Walker's mumbo jumbo, the gun is meant for the bad things. Like if he's dealing with a problem that he thinks is human or that he thinks is natural, then he'll just use his bow and arrow or use his swords. So with that sound, he is obviously now prepared for the worst. Although he is a little bit of a jumpy person and a little bit sensational, so do with that what you will.
I was like, we all heard the thing, so I'm just like,
Right.
all right, fucking go.
Is there any preparation Delphie or Esther would like to make? Are they just kind of waiting to see what might occur?
Yeah, Delphi's she's very much knowing that she's support, so she's waiting to see what everyone else does.
Esther will, at some point, just stop moving and hold her furs and just start looking around, but looking weirdly unbothered.
All right, then. Everybody, as you're all, I like to imagine that you're doing like the action movie thing, like the Avengers thing, where you're all like back to back, and like Delphie's probably right in the middle of the party.
Yep.
It doesn't really help a whole lot because there's like a 3-foot-tall gnome standing in front of her, and like
Yeah,
she's, like,
absolutely.
Yeah.
There's
Delphie is
the
just kind of
gap in the
A-posing in the
defenses.
middle, and we're just supporting that.
I liked her expression. She's like,
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just what she does. No,
Delphie,
she's
I will
ready,
let-
we promise. She just does that.
Yeah. Delphie specifically, I will let you decide if you want to make this roll or not, as you are more so prepared to help your party. The rest of you, and if you would like to as well, you may make an investigation or a perception. I'm going to let you pick, as you're all on edge, which means you are actively looking for anything, but you also aren't exactly sure what you're looking for. So either of these rolls work.
Let's go.
Do a
13.
little perception.
The best one I've got so far.
Grimforge, what the hell, man? Updates on that as the story develops. And also,
Oh.
thank you, Crown and Bow, for the follow.
It's not
Welcome to
okay
the
when
party.
creepy things happen actually in life. You know, just like this kind of creepy thing.
No.
Yeah.
I don't know what's happening.
Can I? I'm just gonna keep going kind of around my screen here. Hey, Jane, can you roll my investigation?
Yeah.
you don't trust me anymore?
I just want to share the love.
The guy who
Okay.
consistently and provably rolls low on everything?
You just need the flat number, I'm assuming?
Yeah.
15.
Ooh, that's a 23 for me.
Hey!
Okay.
So I know I have inspiration, but I feel like this is very narratively appropriate. Delphie got a nat 1 for this.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, girl!
I have you like behind me and I'm
freaking
sticking to the wall,
go.
so you're just like holding my
Yeah.
back and you're like, you got it.
Maura, what's
Yeah.
happening? Let me know.
Yeah, more or Delphie's too big or too big. Well, Delphie's too busy like with that symbol of hers, like she's just like holding it, tossing it in her fingers. She's very oddly calm to all of you for what seems to be happening, but she's just there ready and waiting for something to happen.
She whispers to her little symbol. Don't worry, Ozzy, we got this.
I love how you call him Ozzy.
And then I missed what Virgil and Esther got because I heard 23.
Oh, I didn't know I was allowed to roll as well.
Oh yeah,
Whoops.
everybody's allowed to roll. As you're actively, you all know something. Something is
Okay.
occurring.
It was perception.
Or
Yeah.
you can choose between perception and investigation, as either can function here.
My perception is only one higher, but I will take a 19.
Okay.
I got a
19.
22.
Two.
Nice.
Okay.
That's pretty good, Walker. Pretty good. Not as good as
Yeah.
me, but pretty good.
Think
Yeah.
with Maura like doing the like her little cufflinks and stuff, she's just like focused on the strength that she just got and is like and like not looking at shit.
Oh boy, girl.
That's my secret. I'm always angry.
He's angry.
To give you some little bit of something just to make this extra creepy, the inspiration for this particular moment comes from the line with the back rooms in. If you've heard or seen something, it's definitely heard you.
Oh
And as you're all
God, no! I hate the back
circled-
rooms.
You're all circled here looking out. Maura, unfortunately, is faced in the wrong direction of this circle. Delphie is a little too preoccupied getting things ready in case something should go wrong. However, the three
Get it.
oldest, Esther, Huxley, Virgil, you all begin to hear what sounds like a kind of noise coming from inside the dark. And just as you begin to think that you hear it go off to a different direction, you see two bright glowing eyes looking at you from inside the fog.
I just
And
got
you have a
told.
split second. You have a split second to think before you hear that same gnarled scream come out at you, far closer than it ever was before. Which tells you this was far back before. And it found you.
It's fast.
Yeah, it's fast. And it lurches out. You don't even get a good look at it. I need everybody to roll initiative. But you guys, thanks to that rifle, do not have the worry of a surprise round because you can't be surprised thanks to,
I picked a
thanks
good
to your
thing.
old man. Yeah.
Enjoy it while it
17.
lasts. I'll go down like a chump.
And
For
going
everyone
down like a
watching,
jump is how he
I'm
got
rolling
Miss Esther.
everything with my baby dice because it just feels appropriate for a large, lanky monster.
Baby dice,
Roll
let's
with baby.
go.
Let me check what's mine.
On the bright side, I'm not rolling below a 10. It's just like 11, 12, 13, 12, 11.
Not bad. That's not bad.
Right
It's
down
middle
the
ground.
middle.
Ellie, would you help
Okay.
me this time?
Hmm?
Would you help me with the D20 this time?
Yes, absolutely.
I wasn't sure if it said
I just
Ellie or
got you a
Delphie.
nat 20, baby.
Yay.
Trying to show
Let's
off in front of my
freaking
woman.
go.
I'm never
It was
rolling for
with my
myself again.
Jane dice too.
Oh, she's
love those
generous.
so much.
The opalite ones do significantly roll better for me than the
I
purple,
love these.
which is such a shame because like purple is my favorite. So I'm like, I am your mother.
You look so cute when other people use your dice.
They're so pretty.
All right.
I like those are my favorite dice I have, but they felt too ritzy for Maura. Like I'm using my like
That's
these
fair.
ones that are like
Oh,
Oh
yeah.
Wait,
Because
are
these
those
feel
from
more-
Kraken?
These are from Misty Mountain.
Nice. Hey, I didn't know. I have a purple set that
I'm-
looks a lot like
I
that,
love
but
that.
they were from Kraken from a while
So there's
ago.
this really cool dice company called Misty Mountain Gaming.
Have you heard of them?
You heard of it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
Really
some good shit.
nice.
Oh, have I?
Wait a minute. You mean these?
Oh, have I?
Oh, those guys.
Oh, have
Like-
I?
Shameless
You
plug.
don't want to
Shameless
like.
plug.
Although
don't
not
wanna
Misty
end
Mountain,
up
my friend
bug.
did get this for me.
Pretty.
That's very good.
I like it. I like it a lot.
Right?
What you need, Ty?
Oh, I was just gonna not interrupt our promo.
Our ad.
So I figured we needed at least one.
We
plug,
gotta get
right?
those ads in.
Yeah,
I got
25 to 20.
21 again.
21?
Ooh.
Was your
With
end
a
after that?
natural 20, it's a 21 for me as well.
Oh, right.
Ooh.
What are your deck scores out of the two of you?
He's gonna win that.
I'm gonna
Okay,
win
then.
that.
So, Virgil, you're going to be straight out the gate with Huxley on deck. All right. 20 to 15.
17.
18? Okay.
Nice.
We got Delphie. And Jane, what did you get?
10.
Cool.
Let's
Love that.
go.
Love
Later.
that. I love
Like,
that
I
so
only ever roll
much.
low in initiative, so I think that's just a me thing more than an Esther
I
thing.
did- I have to like derail us for a hot second because we're gonna get to something, and then soon we're probably gonna take a break so that everybody can, go to the bathroom, all that kind of stuff.
Maddy.
But I watched a video the other day of Nicolas Cage talking about how he dressed like shortbread on a red carpet, and it's him just going like, "I love shortbread," and I'm trying to copy with it every day.
It's like
Steve-
30 seconds long at least.
That's
too.
great.
Steve, do you
I
remember
love
the "Do you want this cake" video from years ago?
Mhm.
Yeah.
All right,
feel like-
Virgil, you get to go first. Whenever
Okay,
we get
Huxley. Do you want this cake?
I want.
I feel like Esther is just like busy checking on the girls, which is why she's like at the end.
Yeah,
She's, like,
she's
"Gotta
mom
make sure
mode.
my girls are good.
Yeah.
Of course.
Oh, wait, Steve and Jane switched mom and dad from the Rhymehold ritual.
Oh, you just noticed that, did
Yeah.
you? Oh, you just noticed that?
Oh God, does that make me creepy uncle?
It's my turn to be the worried old man.
You don't have to be creepy, Uncle. You can just be Uncle.
I have to be
Uncle,
creepy
uncle.
uncle.
No, you can be Hawaiian shirt Uncle. That's the best
Yeah.
one.
Yeah,
Oh my
that's the
God,
one
no.
that Vegeta turned
Or
into Hawaiian
IPA
shirt
uncle.
uncle. I'm sorry.
You get
IPA
to go
uncle?
first.
IPA Uncle.
God. Okay, you get to go first. You haven't quite gotten a good look at this thing yet, as it moves very quickly through the fog. But you
Oh.
are able to track where it's, like you can see the shadow, the outline of it.
Yeah, okay. Is it a big outline?
It's pretty good size. It's not like gargantuan, giant, any of that
Okay.
kind of stuff, but it's definitely a body size larger than yours.
Okay.
However,
okay.
you begin to notice as you see it moving, the legs and the arms seem impossibly thin for a creature this large. Like it's incredibly long-limbed. Like the inspiration kind of for it was like the windy guys from Until Dawn. Like
Okay.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh no.
Ooh, everything's getting thin is scary. Guess
it's
what?
Lovecraftian.
Guess
Go
what?
ahead.
I'm thin.
Yeah.
Spooky.
All right. So that means ensnaring strike isn't my best bet. So I think we're gonna go with Hunter's Mark.
All right.
So we'll cast Hunter's Mark on it, tick off the spell slot. Then I'm pretty sure I have a feature that does something cool for me on the first round of combat. But the long and short of it is, I'm going to be using both of my shells in the gun to pump something between this thing's eyes. Dread Ambusher, my walking speed increases by 10 feet. If I take an attack action on the first turn, I can make an additional weapon attack as part of that action, dealing an extra 1d8 of damage as type on hit. So that would be 3 shots with the gun, which means I'd have to reload it in between. I didn't think that part through. But I have the gunner feat, so I should be able to reload it during the attack. So I'll take 3 shots at this thing with my gun.
Okay.
All right. The first hit is a natural 20.
Dang!
Does it?
Ooh.
Shoot!
Beautiful.
Is there an easy way? Is there an easy way to roll double damage on D&D Beyond? I do not know that.
It's
I have
just-
no idea.
I never use the dice on
You,
that.
Oh!
you
I don't
have
know
dice in front of you.
Crit damage, dude. It's
He's just trying to be kind.
that's
I-
20. That's 12d8, and that's before I do Hunter's Mark and before I do the other thing. I'm just gonna click the button. Yeah,
Well,
this
I
has crit
mean,
damage.
like we say in my home campaign, give me all your D8s.
Okay, and then Hunter's Mark is a D6, so that's a D6, and this is a D8. That's okay. The first hit is 73 points of necrotic damage, and then I'll take the second shot, which is a 20 to hit.
Close, but it hits.
Okay. That's gonna be. Is the Hunter's Mark once per turn? I haven't rangered in years.
I can check for you.
No,
real
I
quick.
got it. I got it. I'm just.
It's every
Okay.
hit.
I apologize that it's every hit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Every hit.
36 points on the second hit. Give it a reload. Ooh, and that's a 13, so I fumble the reload.
Yep, 13 does not do
And
it.
I waste a shot into the air, and I curse loudly about it as I try to finish fumbling.
Language walk.
Oh, and I dealt.
Presence of ladies.
Oh, and I got one extra D8. Sorry, and an extra 4.
Okay, I will do my math shortly. But as you're hitting it, you watch this creature dance around, and never once does it seem slow its speed. But it's moving very, very quickly. You get the sense that as you're hitting it, it's not really doing what you thought it was going to. Next is Huxley.
Language walker. We're in the presence of ladies. Something subtler, perhaps. And I will.
Glad you think I'm a lady.
Oh, I wasn't talking about you. Nonetheless, I will waggle my cane in the general direction of the terrifying creature, trying not to let the fear that I am certainly feeling show on my face or in my clicking tiny knees. But nevertheless, I will cast a mind spike at the creature.
All right.
You have mind spike. I have mind sliver.
Ah, well,
Ooh.
that's very, very impressive. The creature in
You got some
question,
weird shit, dog. I've never
Make
touched
a,
this class before.
it is a wisdom saving throw on behalf of the creature.
All right, wisdom saving throw. That would be a 15.
I did not hear the number you said.
15.
15 just fails. A 16 is
All
the
right.
magic number,
Ooh.
which
All
by which I
right.
mean the number required for my magic.
I like to think he's just explaining all this in the middle of the circle.
Yes.
Like, if you will watch.
Oh,
Delphie, you see, when I cast some... no.
Yeah.
there's just
okay,
one
I'll-
more thing.
yeah, just one more thing.
It's very
Uh,
informative. Thank you.
It takes forever to talk like that, so I'm going to stop for a minute. As much as I really fucking enjoy it. So it's going to be 3d8 damage. Would all the girls roll a d8 and tell me what they get together?
Yes.
Okay.
It is psychic damage, Ty, if that matters.
Roll together
Got a 6.
right
Right.
now.
Yeah. I
Roll for me.
got a 5.
It's,
That's 16.
Nice.
All right.
Now, Mind Spike has the added benefit that as long as I am concentrating on this spell for up to the next hour, I know the target creature's location if we are on the same plane of existence.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
good.
You do get a very strong presence that, yes, this is an unusual creature, but it's here. It's very heftily anchored to this plane.
As it is moving around, my eyes are just going to be darting with pinpoint accuracy as to where its motions will be. It gives, in case it goes invisible, just in case, I still know where it is, unless I stop concentrating or, fall unconscious, which feels like it might happen. But with that, I will I feel like that's all Huxley can do on this turn, so he's done.
All right. It is now the creature's turn, and we have so much talk of backstory here, Stephen, in our chat. Did the gun allows your party not to be surprised, correct? But I don't think it did anything else full party, right?
So what it does is no one within 30 feet of me can be surprised, except when incapacitated by something other than magical sleep, blah, 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 blah. The only other feature it has is that it will awaken us if we are asleep when combat begins.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Those are the only two features.
All right, then. You, Huxley and Virgil, are the two that can see it best because you're kind of squished up side by side there. You both begin to notice the creature in the dark, you just see its outline still. You haven't gotten a very good look, even as it's gotten closer to swipe at you and things like that. You kind of see it begin to, lurch, almost. And you could swear it almost looks like parts of the body that had been blown off
Mhm.
from the gun, especially that first shot, almost seem to be growing back in.
No, they don't.
You
like
hear
that.
that same disgusting, guttural, like, help me scream come out of this creature again. I need everybody to make a wisdom saving throw, please.
Oh.
Can we not that? Can we not that?
Oh, I'm good.
Remember when you guys
That-
were all like,
wanna
I
roll a
get
different
this,
one.
I get that, I'm level 8, and I was like,
Yeah.
guys, there's one monster.
Hey, Tyler.
Okay.
How do you roll with this? Literally. If we're gonna use our inspiration, do we need to tell you before we roll?
No, normally we haven't. I mean, at a table, I would say that, yeah, but given in the past, like for the rhyme hold and stuff, we would let people roll and then be like, I'm going to use my inspiration. So,
Okay.
You good because I'm using it?
Ellie,
We
don't
got-
don't you have a thing that benefits everybody that's real close to you when we make saving throws?
Oh, yeah. I have to cast it first, I think,
Ooh.
but
I don't think
Or-
aura of protection, aura of something.
hang on.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
yeah, don't you know?
Aura protection.
I'm
Well,
in
you
the
are
country
consci-
where they
oh,
actually say that right now.
Oh
That's
yeah.
true. My family does.
When I say that, I don't think of Canada. I think of Wisconsin.
Close enough.
Okay. So anyone within 10 feet of me gets a +5 bonus to all saving throws if I am conscious.
Ooh.
+5.
Whoa.
Got that aura
Nice.
of protection.
+5.
Holy
Okay.
cow.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
right,
then
that's a level
also-
6.
Steve, you want to
Um,
roll for me?
Also, you guys cannot be charmed if you're within 10 feet of me because I have aura of devotion.
Rob, you got an 8.
Oh.
Plus
Okay.
5 plus your stat.
Ooh, okay.
Sorry, I was thinking about sanctuary, and I'm like, what are you talking about? I didn't put that up yet.
Excuse me, I happen to know a little bit about this game called D&D. I don't.
What's
I
that?
am professionally half knowledgeable.
I appreciate it because I'm not.
Okay, so with
17 for Huxley with all the bonuses.
Okay.
Does that +5 affect me?
It should.
does. It's already included in all of your stats on D&D Beyond. That's what we were working out the other day in the Discord.
Right. Because I was like, holy shit. I got a 26, not adding an extra 5.
Okay.
not
Guess
adding an
I'll
extra
just-
5?
Uh-huh. Yeah, 'cause I get a +9 to wisdom, and I got a 17.
Whoa.
Okay, well,
Did anybody get
My
under?
charisma's
17?
ridiculous.
I got a 30.
specific- holy crap.
I
Alright,
love it.
Delphie?
Specifically,
I
because
get
I
a
was-
+7 from my
Delphie
wisdom
is never
saving
not
throws,
doing
plus the
just
5.
fine.
Yeah.
All right.
exclusively because I take comfort from the cool, level-headed, and fearless paladin behind me. I'm okay.
I was gonna say, no one leave my 10-foot range.
Delphie
I
is
think everybody
too
made it through.
preoccupied to be afraid.
Sure, I
Doesn't
didn't
seem
hear
like the
your
type
number.
who gets
Did you do
scared
okay?
often.
I didn't hear how Esther did.
Oh, I got a 25. I'm fine.
Okay, we're all fine.
I know all of
Nice
you are
try.
okay. Yeah, no, all of you are okay. So you have
Still creepy
seemed
though.
to be okay with the frightful presence, which means none of you are in fear, thankfully.
Oh,
Ah.
None of
trust
you
me, I
have,
am in fear. It's happening to me right
We
now.
don't have the fear
This is my
stat
fear
on you.
face.
Let's put it
I
that
ain't
way.
afraid of shit.
Yes, you hear this and you feel like a cold shiver run down your spines, but then you all hear Maura behind you just kind of let out an angry like ah! As she's like getting ready to like run in there. And
Yeah.
I think she just literally goes,
gonna be
let's
okay."
fucking go!
Yeah. You hear like John Cena music just start playing in the back. You all know it's gonna be okay. Yeah.
Do you
You all
smell
know
what
that
Morgan's
everything will be
cooking?
fine. Yeah, those of you in the front who have already aimed at it, you hear as the scream is coming down, and thankfully you're not frightened by it. But you watch it get down on all fours.
Oh, that's
And, like,
worse.
you see
I
it.
don't like that.
You see it just kind of like really scooting around in a very unhuman, disturbing manner. Just as it lunges at you, Virgil, it is going to make 3 claw attacks against you.
Ooh, snap.
That's a lot of dice.
Oh my god. Oh no, I'm so sorry.
Hey, I crit
okay,
in.
well,
It's only fair.
One of them is a natural. One of them is a natural 20.
It's only
the
fair.
other one is an
It's only
18
fair.
plus 9.
Yeah, that'll hit.
Okay, the other one, I don't know
Don't
what
worry,
your
I'm a
armor class
cleric.
is. The other one maybe doesn't quite. It comes out to an 18 total.
18 hits.
Okay, so let me roll all my damages here.
While you're rolling damages, a couple of things. First of all, thank you, Eric Bra, for the cheer a little bit ago. Glad you're here. Glad you're enjoying yourself. For Virgil, emergency inspiration from Sam to replace what you
Ooh, I need a pin to keep track of this stuff. You got a pin in here?
might have stolen them all,
I
but
have
they're
one.
somewhere.
I think I can help keep track. Right now you got one. I can help you keep track.
This is also
I
this is
thought he
also a
sent
good
one.
time to remind people of how you can use your channel points. Go down and you can try and help us out because we might need it. And also to remember that even though it's not the Rimehold ritual, guys, the Misty Mountain Monday clip contest continues. Feel free to clip your
Right.
favorite moments from the show with that little button in the bottom right of the Twitch screen. And we will pick our favorite and give you full credit for being the coolest cat capturing our cool catchphrases later on in the week.
One round.
Thank you, Sam.
Don't do it again.
And for anybody joining us, we have a new sub goal for a turn of genre in Rob's Tiefling Shoot. If you want to see it a little more spicy, go ahead and hit that sub.
Oh my god, this is so many D6s.
Oh God.
Each
Hello for
crit
the
is
follow. Welcome to the
heard-
party.
I
Watch my
heard-
brother
Shit,
die.
oh God.
I heard D26s for some reason, and it seemed like it was legit.
well, this is gonna end up because of that crit. This is gonna end up being
Can I do it as an action?
Oh,
Don't worry
God.
about it. I'll help you do math if you need it.
like 16 D6.
Yeah,
Wow.
that sounds about right.
Yeah.
There's no
I
way
mean, in
I'm
all
staying
fairness,
up.
that's about what you did to it.
There's no way I'm staying up.
That's why we brought Delphie.
That is legitimately. I did
Chameleon.
16 d8s to it, plus 2 d8s plus a d6.
Yeah, so you got no room to talk.
No, I said this is fair. You know, turnabout's fair play. Fucking alien.
That's-
God.
Don't
I got lay on hands.
wounds.
Well,
Heal 'em.
it could
That's,
hit my death threshold if it rolls high enough.
Oh.
Oh, I'm not gonna make you guys worry about that because there's other very real possibilities you'll die in this game. I'm not gonna make you worry about an instant hit death threshold.
Oh, but wouldn't that be
Love
great?
to hear it.
That's a
Given
great
I've had a
special
game where one of our
I don't know what I
players
expected.
was not even present and got like a crit in 3.5 where you had to go backwards in your hit points and immediately died when John was not even there. That's why I don't do that to people.
Hey
Oh
Rob,
my
now I know what it's like
God.
to get insta-crit and die
70
on the first hit.
75 points of claw damage.
Okay,
75?
that is 8 more than I have.
Oh.
All right. And
So
as
Virgil
the
gets
cr-
instant.
yeah, you are you're still having a hard time. Like this creature is just moving so fast that really all you can see right now is like pale, like gross, kind of greeny, bluey, yellowy skin. It looks like almost like dead flesh on a person, with veins like you can see running through it, and all you can see is this like bits of pale skin moving around as claws are just kind of like coming straight into Virgil. And you all can hear, and especially you, Esther, having this be the person that you love, you can kind of hear it begin to like let out a weird little like happy gurgle almost. Kind of like a little laugh of joy almost as it is releasing him.
Oh god.
Delphie.
Getting real.
Joy.
Anyway.
Okay, my turn. Delphie
Would
watches
have
this
been
happen.
4 less d6 if we had not had a crit.
My
And also would have been a less yeah, it's fine.
It's fair play.
Anyway.
It's fine.
We crit them,
everything's
they crit us.
fine.
I always knew I'd go out like this.
Now,
Crit happens, yo.
for anybody
Crit
who wasn't
happens.
here, because I see somebody asking about Dean's accomplice or something go through. DM's accomplice. With this particular game, there are things that can change about my creature now that you all have met it. And that is going to be where those DM's accomplice come in, where you will not immediately know what you bought, but let me tell you, you'll be buying something good, and you'll get
You
to hear
hate
about it
us.
later. Because I know I have one from my dear Yuki.
Oh God.
So,
I get two
go ahead, Delphie, it's your turn.
So Delphie sees this happen, and she goes from her like, it's fine, everything's fine face to just absolutely pissed off angry. She touches her little symbol and she goes, I see this one's really bad. Don't worry about it. That was really nasty. So I'm gonna do something nice to balance it out. Karma will all be balanced. And she's going to go over to Virgil and she's going to cast Cure Wounds at level 4,
Woo!
which is
Big
gonna
guns.
be 28 hit points back. And then she is going to use her bonus action to invoke duplicity. And she's just gonna kind of like hit bump her duplicate, and the duplicate's gonna pop out of the little grouping, and just scooch in towards the fog a little bit where the sound is coming from, and just look really grumpy and mad at it. And that's my turn.
All right. As you make this duplicate, you watch the creature's head begin to tilt almost like a puppy's when they're confused, but it goes way too far to the side. Like it kind of does like a weird creaking sort of thing. Maura. I keep calling you Maura because I know someone named Maura. Maura.
I know what
Speaking
more.
Overwatch.
I literally name my characters after people with cool names that I've met, like maybe twice.
It's pretty
That's
cool. But
rad.
Maura,
Oh.
it is your turn. Do your worst.
So how far is
Hey.
this thing from me?
It
Yeah,
is
we need to
still
real quick
essentially-
pause, if
Yeah.
we could. I think over numerousness just subscribed a
Ooh.
lot.
25
Please.
times.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
Oh my God.
That
Rob, guess what?
does it, doesn't it?
It does. It
Oh
really
man.
does.
Okay. Okay.
Spicy
Seriously,
shoot, baby.
over numerousness. All right, I still remember over numerousness as the guy who came in and watched our stream on my birthday as I played Dark Souls 3 or whatever the hell I was doing. So you have a really great place in my heart, and I know you're a generous cat. And you are just continuing to prove that. Thank you so much. That's a bunch of community subs. But man, after being so nice to me on my birthday, why you do me dirty like this now?
They put sucks to suck Rob in the chat.
This
Which
is
I appreciate.
Sucks to
Oh man. Oh dude, you're awesome. Dude, you're so cool. Everyone thank the generosity of our friend, and thank to everybody who contributed. Over numerousness gets the birthday candles for pushing us over the edge, and everyone I'm gonna do this. I'm not gonna. What did it say?
Nothing. Nothing.
Jane, shut up. All right, we lost Steve.
It's good that we know this now, so that when I buy a cake of paint, I know to get you the big one,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and not the tiny one.
Yeah.
That's
At
right.
least
Purple
3.
Rob, Ellie. You know it, Irish Mac.
Let me
Okay.
tell you, Rob, painting your shoulders and armpits is like an experience, and I'm excited you get to
It
experience
really
that.
is.
Yeah.
It really is,
The
and you're
question
gonna
is,
have it
are
for
you
like
going
a
to
week.
have to shave in order to do your chest?
Those
Because
painting
I,
your
like,
arts.
imagine
Have
putting
to.
body
I'm-
paint over.
No, I'm going to paint over, and it's probably not going to be fun.
Oh, it's gonna be crusty. You
Yeah.
might want to
Yeah.
just go for a wax. You've seen like the 40-year-old virgin? Go for a wax, man. Kelly Clarkson.
Don't even have KJ here. Talk about waxing.
Oh, KJ's gonna. I should text her.
Tell her now.
Yes.
Um,
So I will say, if you're not already in the community Discord, Irish Mac's usually good about this. Somebody put ! Discord in the chat.
I gotcha.
Join the Discord
Can
because
do it.
I am going to be posting the pictures just in the Discord and in their own channel, where anyone who doesn't want to see it doesn't have to. It's not going to go out on social media, obviously. I mean, the regular photo shoot will. If you're not in the Discord and you want to enjoy this, join the Discord. I'm sorry
joining
for
right
interrupting
now.
the dramatic moment and for interrupting Maura's turn, but we had to. You got to stop for 25 gifted subs.
Oh
That's
yeah.
okay.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Holy cow.
That's okay. We're getting close to where I wanted to be when we take our break anyway, so we're doing good. But yeah, Maura, it is basically it has not moved out of Steven's space.
Maddie. Just saw your comment. I'm sorry.
We could. I mean,
We're ruining the dramatic tension here.
I'm so scared.
Don't worry, it'll
Hey,
come
Steve's
back.
dying.
This is part
Steve's
of it.
dying.
Oh no, I'm fine. Maddie, they got me.
I got
yeah,
Oh,
he's
that's right.
still on the ground from having fallen, having gone unconscious. But yeah, it's standing on top of him, kind of doing like a giddy, almost like a child, like going like as
Teabagging.
it's jumping. Yeah.
I don't like that.
Oh, I don't like that
very
at
close.
all.
It's very close to you.
Okay. I'm gonna run over and I have my flail and I want to essentially just like swing it almost like a golf club and try to knock it off of him.
Go ahead.
So, let's see. That is 16 plus 7. I'm so good at math, guys. I picked the good game. 23.
That'll hit.
Alright, and then...
Imagine me at that point going, that really doesn't do it.
No, I'll cry. I'm just a little.
I'm sorry, to
guy.
hit,
You're
it needs to begin with a 2, minimum.
Alright, so that is 10 points of damage. It's not great.
Everything helps, baby.
And then and then I get 2 of those. So I'll say I'll pretty much like swing it up and then I'm gonna come back around and do it again.
Yeah.
So
I
that's
love this crowbar flail so much.
No.
it's a 19.
19 just
Ooh.
does it.
Beautiful.
And that is a 13.
13. All right. 23 points in total.
So she's
Ooh.
just going like,
Yeah.
like,
Sonic and Mario
got,
at the
like,
Olympic
my
Games
whip on
shot
me.
put. Let's
Oh my
go.
god, no.
I was saying,
Backs up
like, I've got a
more
whip
so-
coiled on my hip and I've got a hand on that too. Just ready.
It backs up from you
I can whip you
more
lefty.
so out of a sense of kind of like, oh, this is interesting sort of thing. Like you get that vibe that everything just seems very playful to this thing, despite how disgusting it is. It backs up, I'd say about like 10 feet into the fog where you're seeing just its outline again. Esther, it is your turn.
Ooh. Then after seeing it just lay into my dear husband, she is going to turn and not move from the spot, but hold her furs and stamp her heel into the dirt and twist it. And these little veins will start creeping up around her forehead and eyes. And I will cast Blight on the creature.
Heck yeah, go for it.
It is a Constitution 15 on your head.
15.
Yeah.
Pulling out
I
the
will use
big
it.
guns.
You could like fail it if you want to.
That is adorable.
Oopsies.
Constitution?
Yes.
Not a 14, not a
Whoa.
15.
Let's
Ooh,
go.
so let's get 8d8 up in here.
Oh, let's go.
And it's suffice to
5.
say that you all have noticed as you begin hitting it, it doesn't seem to be nearly as phased as you might think it should be, taking like a crowbar to the face or things like that.
Okay. Pardon me one moment while I count this. That is
No.
37 points of necrotic damage.
37. All right. I'm laughing not because of what you just did, but because of the thing that I told you guys earlier about my next campaign character being like a tiny monster running around. Like, just picture this, but like the size of a
This little-
Yorkie running around. Anyway. as you hit it with this, you don't seem to get the sense that it's hitting it any harder than something else. As you watched your own husband really lay into this creature, it's almost like it begins. It's not sure how to handle this. Like you watch it like its shadow, it like grips at its head and almost seems to be like clawing into its own forehead. As you begin hearing it kind of like make little noises that sound very much like things other people probably have once said in its presence, you know, kind of like just like, help me, hurts. Like you hear things like that kind of screaming out from it.
Monsters with mimicry
Yikes.
traits are the best / worst.
Ugh, they're so scary.
This is fun. But because we got started a little later than we planned, all that kind of stuff. I'm trying to move us.
It's okay.
No, it's fine. You're. If it was not for you, we wouldn't be playing the game right now. So, very true point. So, but yeah, as Esther
Love a
really
spook.
lays this hit into it, and you're not necessarily standing over your husband, but you're protectively there. And as it's thrashing about, you see its yellow glowing eyes whip back in your direction. It looks at you not necessarily afraid. You begin to see that it's kind of like, oh, this isn't what I usually handle with. And with that, you can see through the dark a bit of white spread disgustingly across its face as its teeth show. Disgusting smile coming at the corners of its mouth. Definitely too wide to be natural. And it puts up one of its creepy little hands. And waves before sprinting off. It has 50 feet of movement. So it sprints a good like
God.
100 feet completely away from you. You get the sense though that probably isn't going to be the last time it has found you.
Love that.
As it dissipates, the fog is still there, but it begins to lighten somewhat. You begin to not be so like thickly oppressed by all of this fog. If you can actually see a little further ahead of you, at this point, with your distance you had made, you probably have between a fourth and a mile to a half a mile left to get to the town. You're very, very close. You could book it if you wanted to.
Damn it, I made such a fast character and you gave it a 50-foot movement speed. Virgil's gonna like.
I just wanted to let you guys know that it moves fast,
Yeah.
okay?
No, that's
I
good.
hate it.
Good to know.
Anything that's twitchy and moves fast, I don't like.
Especially if it's thin
You
and
don't
talks with
know-
other people's
I really
voices.
hate it.
I don't know all the things it does, okay? Like, don't worry. I wanted to let you guys know that it moves very fast.
No, you're
so that
good.
if
It's
you think
just
about
like-
running. Yeah.
And I've got 2
On a
DM's
human
accomplices to
biological
make it
level,
worse.
not my favorite thing.
I've got 2 DM's accomplices to make it worse.
Oh god.
Oh, did someone else do one?
Yeah, some asshole.
Yeah, that guy.
I'm gonna find because they are not
Stop
natural. They're a
it.
great person. Whoever bought it, thank you.
Aw.
Have turned to make my little murder monster baby more murdery. Yes, as you kind of barely made it through with the skin of your teeth, some of you, well, one of you specifically took a very hard hit. If it not for your little Delphie, would probably still be down. And Esther, you seem to have spooked it in a sort of way that it's not used to.
Ooh, yay. Still
Yes,
hate it.
With our combat wrapped up, because it's been going for close to 2 hours, and I want to give everybody their break before we come back. I will say you guys can do any types of healing or that kind of stuff that you feel you need, but we're gonna go ahead and take a, let's say, like 10-minute-ish break.
Say that number again.
Sounds like
10 minutes.
10 minutes, okay.
Yeah.
The hour, Steve.
I thought you said
I
1
think
minute,
you know
and
which
I'm
button
like,
to click. Yes.
Now we're gonna take a 10-second break. No.
I'm a fast peer,
We're
don't
back.
worry.
Yeah.
The one kind of down there, not the top ones, but the gaming one, or not
Yeah.
the gaming one.
See y'all.
Here it goes!
All right.
Hey.
right, sorry,
I think
back
that's a
on.
leftover from. I
Hello,
think that's a
hello.
leftover from all
Nope,
the gifts.
this is wrong.
earlier.
Jeez.
This
Might
is
be,
Never
wrong.
mind,
regardless,
Goodbye.
still one.
I hit in game.
That's to anything.
Yeah, the
We'll
logo
be
is
there
good.
shortly.
Oh
bless
no,
you.
you
Oh.
hit the you
I-
hit
I
the
hit-
in-game
I
for the
hit-
video game.
Is there oh, there's a different one. Yep.
Oh, it's a let's
It's a let's play now.
So let's play. It's a D&D let's play.
Let's play D&D.
Let's play
Yeah.
Amnesia, Dark
Wow.
Descent.
Mhm.
I think I downloaded
it's,
that.
I'm sorry, it's just you with the
Okay. Hey guys, we're back.
We're
Hi.
back, kind of.
Including
We're getting
these people
into-
now.
We're getting into the start of the spookums. We have wasted a lot of time having fun apart from Tyler's story. Real quick before we get back into it, and we are going to get back into it, Miss Fashionista Geek and Gothic Gamer 1993. Thank you both for following. Welcome to the party. We play D&D and tell stories on this channel, and we're doing that right now. We just got attacked by an unspeakable terror from God knows where, and it is running off into the darkness while we, cast prestidigitation on our soiled britches, which is definitely not what Huxley is doing right now.
When you die, you do tend to evacuate some things.
It's true.
Fortunately, I was only knocked unconscious for the record. And we're not in depends yet.
Huxley.
Hard yet.
He's like, I'm 160 years young.
As the creature runs into the night, Virgil's gonna stagger, stumble to his feet, like waving his arm, like, is it? Where'd it go? Is everyone all right?
Yeah, calm down, Huxley.
Of course, Esther's gonna run over and just
No, you're
cup his
Huxley.
face.
Yes, I should
Of
calm
course
down.
we're
Tell
all
him-
right. Look at you though.
The fuck was that thing?
Never seen you go down so fast. Are you okay?
Come now, my darling.
Oh,
you
fuck
see
off.
He's your husband. You gotta work on that. I'm sorry.
I'm sure you've seen me
Did this to
a
myself.
time or two. Yes. Well, what the devil was that thing? Did anyone get a good look at it? I was a little busy I was down. But yes, what the devil was it?
When I was like playing golf with it. Did I get like a look at its face and stuff?
All at this point, basically like a rushed look where like you know what it looks like, but you didn't get fine details of it because it moves so quick. What you did see of it as you were hitting it was very much like what you kind of see glimpses of through the mist of like pale, gross, very twiny and skinny and like long claws and like on the face those beady little glowing eyes and a far overstretched toothy smile.
But like a human-ish face or like animal?
Humanoid-ish, like a blend of some things.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know what it was, but it was fucked up.
It was terrible.
Yes, well, we had that in common a few seconds in. I would,
Don't mind me.
just because I'm a ranger now, I would like to use a spell slot for primeval awareness. For 1 minute, I can sense not a number, not a direction, just if there are any aberrations, celestials, dragons, elementals, or undead are present within a mile of me.
You don't get any of those particular pings. What you're mainly getting from your weapon is now just a very dull sense of just like, not even so much just straight danger, just more of kind of like, things aren't quite right.
That wasn't good.
Okay.
Yeah, like you're getting not the same sense that you did earlier from your rifle that things are very imminently dangerous, but you can tell just you're still out in the woods. There's still some fog lingering. It's dark now. The moon is the only thing out, and you can barely see it through the fog.
The normal level of like adventuring at night hazards, but the ranger spell did not detect anything within a mile.
No, you didn't get celestials, dragons. You probably got a few.
Aberrations, elementals,
No.
fae, fiends, undead. Okay.
No, you probably from the village, if you would constitute, which I don't usually do, but if you want to constitute like a dragonborn, maybe being something
Yeah,
you
I
could
figure
yeah.
if I
You
said
get
I
in
don't,
the village a
I'm
few
not
little
triggering
kings of things.
tieflings as infernals
Yeah.
or anything like that, or fiends.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm like, he'll get a little bit more pale, as though the blood hadn't already drained from his face. You know, we get a little more pale. It's like, I've never encountered something like that in my life. And he's saying that to you, but he's also kind of saying it to himself and coming to terms with that fact.
That's not
Wel-
good.
wel- welcome, my friend. Are you sure you're all right? You took quite a beating.
Do you need more heals?
Thank you for everything that you have provided for me, Delphie. Oh, I dare say I would have been in dire straits had you not been there, darling. But
Welcome.
I'm well enough to manage.
I think Maura's gonna go over and just like clap a hand on his shoulder and be like,
Ah!
I mean, not that hard.
He's just scared.
Just like clap a-
You need to approach slowly.
I'm
Let him
coming
know
up
you're
to
there.
you.
Remember,
Just
pull in the fingers, make it look non-threatening.
have him sniff my hand first. But like, just put a hand on his shoulder and be like, "Hey, that's you took a hit back there. Like, it's alright to be not alright." And like, I'm gonna do 10 points on lay on hands.
Oh, thank you.
Aw.
You're a dear. You're a doll.
Anything
Now
for
I'm
my
over.
uncle.
Now I'm over half. That's good.
Yay!
Oh,
Ooh,
Hey,
Ty,
thank you
you
for the
just
sub,
got
Gothic Gamer girl.
inspiration.
Gothic
For the
gamer, Gothic gamer,
DM.
maybe not girl.
Nice. Thank you, Graham.
Yeah, thanks
Stop
for the
doing
tier.
that.
Thanks for the subscription, Gothic Gamer 1993. Thank you so much.
Thank you
And,
for a third
more-
Dungeon Master's accomplice.
Yeah, this is gonna get
Oh,
bad,
boy.
guys. I'm not expecting. Look, I've been robbed of a good death on
been
Wednesday
robbed?
nights for the past 2 weeks, or past 2 stories. I'm gonna get one here, damn it.
If you're really willing. No, I'm kidding.
I mean, let's talk. But Ty, or Dungeon Master.
Yeah.
I'm still concentrating on Mind Spike, so
Mhm.
I get distracted and I gaze off into a very particular direction in the forest. Am I sure this thing is running? Am I sure it is leaving? It is not getting closer.
Yeah, it's not getting closer for sure. I don't remember what was your distance on Mind Striker. Is it just a duration time thing?
It's the plane of existence for the next hour unless I
Okay.
sneeze too hard.
Yeah, no, you definitely can feel that it is at this point far enough that it's moving somewhat sporadic, as in like it's not just going in a straight line anymore. You do not feel it coming back towards you.
I'll just mutter to myself where others could possibly hear, but not trying to keep it a secret. Just it's still out there. It's not done. And I
Virgil?
pull the cigarette out of my pocket or out of my case and take a lighter out that I made myself and start lighting it.
I think I'm gonna like look down at Hux and be like, "You got another one?"
I flip open the pack and allow you to reach down.
Up
Yeah,
here?
it's a big reach up that's still not quite enough,
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't make eye contact, just very distractedly, still staring out off into the distance. I offer
That's-
you one.
I'll say I'll take one and I gotta like bend way down for you to light it for me.
You're like in a full
Like a
squat.
deep
Yeah,
squat.
I'll take a knee. I'll take
Like
a knee
the
and, like,
how not to talk to short people meme, where you're like
No,
full on the knee.
Yeah. How
I
can
crank
you talk
the
to me?
smile.
Yeah.
This is a rock gnome fire starter. I just adjust a knob and like a 3-foot flame comes out of this thing, so you don't have to bend
So,
over.
I'm just-
So she can pick up all the taller girls.
That's
and
not something that I'm interested in. No, that's why would you anyway?
and I think I'm gonna like kind of walk past Esther a little bit and be like, I know his pride gets in his way, but I'll keep an eye on him.
You're always a DM.
and then I'm gonna head over to Delphie and just make sure she's very close to me. And I'm like, no one leaves the 10-foot radius. You know the rules.
It's
It's awesome.
Dude, that's even better for flavor for a moth.
It's like I got
This
you
is
all
the
on a
family.
leash, whether you know it or not.
Yeah, I just Maura's got like the like little. No, we all have the little chain you hold in kindergarten.
Yes.
And like because all of us are like such different heights, you've got like a Huxley's
Like,
just
Again,
Yeah.
yeah.
and Maura's gonna be like this. And like I've got Delphie next to me. I'm like, you alright? Yeah. Alright. So you need anything,
Delphie.
you know I got you.
Baby, thank you for looking out for Virgil while I couldn't.
what I'm here for. I'm more than happy. Besides, that guy really did a big bad thing, and I just can't let that stay like that. We gotta keep it all in the balance. Otherwise, Ozzy's gonna wake up and we're all gonna go poof.
Your dog.
Such a good description.
But Virgil, baby, you said that you hadn't seen anything like that before?
No, you know.
Are you telling the truth?
Yes, of course, darling. I wouldn't dream of lying to you about this sort of thing.
I don't think you would lie to me, doll. I think, there are some gaps.
I tend to. People in my profession, we tend to categorize these sorts of things into like one. Perhaps it's a fiend or a fae or an undead or something. Whatever choices we just encountered seems to defy classification, which is concerning. Because it means that the things that I've learned are not particularly useful at the moment. Oh, darling, you've done that thing again here. And I just, like, smooth out, like, a vein on your head.
There's a bit of, like, if you touch her face, there's almost a bit of, like, a tackiness and a sheen for a moment.
I take out my
Not unlike a bit of slime.
Take out a little, like, dirty handkerchief and just blot so as to try not to smear the makeup.
Oh, he's a hubby.
Aw.
I'm terribly sorry, dear. I was trying to protect everyone, but I just forgot myself. That's not my strength. I'll be more careful next time.
No, you were more than careful. It's just, like you said, you've never run into something like this before. It's not your fault. We'll just have to stay closer than we used to, I guess.
I suppose.
Esther, I don't mean to interrupt. I'm sorry.
Oh no, it's quite all right. It's quite all right, Huxley. Whatever. What is it? You're actually below me. This is great.
You're gonna have to relay to me. I can't hear him up here.
I'm sorry. I'll speak up. Would you care for me to follow that thing? As I can. I don't mean I can keep up with it, and I know right where it's at. Do you need me to go?
I don't think we should be splitting up just yet, Remy.
Yeah, I don't think anyone should be going alone. Radius.
But if you can keep an eye on it, though.
I can do that.
Normally I would say that it is extremely important that we track it down and attempt to rid the world of yet another problem, which is why I cast the spell that I did. Sadly, I lost concentration when I very nearly croaked.
Oh, that's too bad. It's a terrible thing to lose your concentration. It's a real problem.
Of course you understand. You understand, dear boy. But
I get it.
your spell seems to be a little bit more effective in this regard. If memory serves, you know exactly where it is, but if I'm being quite honest with you all, I'm none too anxious to follow it at this particular time.
You're right. Of course, you're right. I'm sorry. We should probably continue.
Oh no,
we should probably tell people that there's something like this around. Maybe they don't believe us, but maybe they'll take some precautions.
Well, I would be quite used to that. Yes.
Festival?
So I kind of grip my the crowbar a little tighter. I'm like, they'll believe us. They'll believe us.
Yes, you can be very convincing, my dear. You both can. You get that from your aunt.
Oh yeah.
Esther will kind of pat her shoulder and say, "Oh, they'll always know to respect you. Don't worry, doll. You'll know when that's needed."
Say if they don't, They won't disrespect me long.
Oh, your
I-
mother raised you so well.
I wish I had that knack. Wish I had that knack for convincing people. It would have come in great handy in my younger days. As much as I am loath to suggest this, given my curiosity and even my profession, perhaps it would be better to seek refuge in numbers and attempt to learn a little bit more about what it is that we're facing.
I mean, I don't think we're
Well-
too far out from town. Like, we get a place to stay, we regroup.
True, and hey, for all we know, it's a one-time thing. Maybe these are just the kind of things that come around during this festival thing they do.
We still doing that? I was excited.
Oh,
we gotta
I
get
thought
you
we
a funnel
still
cake.
were.
It was the funnel cake that you were excited about, if I remember right.
I love a good funnel cake.
Oh, she does.
So, yeah, maybe we continue to the place and we do the thing. And Professor, you need a stiff one? I got a little if you need.
Oh no, I think I'll be all right. Maybe
Oh,
some.
just for me then. That's okay.
Well, as much as I'd love to stand around in the fog, should we go ahead and start walking again?
Yes, dear, yes. Let's head on back to town. I'll hold my arm out for you, like I did before, but this time I'm kind of like leaning a little bit more and hoping no one notices.
She'll take it and help you walk.
Does Maura notice him, like, slouching?
He's not good at hiding stuff.
Oh, I was
Like,
gonna
keep
say
his
my math
knee.
is an 11. I think she probably, like, is staying, like, she's, like, in between. She's got, like, Delphie on one side and Virgil on the other. And is just kind of, like, got a hand on his back, giving him a little support. So, like, not, like, you know, in the row, people can't really tell he's being held up, but, like, give the man his dignity.
Yeah.
And Delphie sees Virgil offer his arm out, so Delphie like taps Maura and goes,
Oh, it's like
We
the
got-
goddamn Wizard of Oz. Y'all skipping down the yellow brick road, and
Yeah,
I'm back
baby.
here.
I was gonna say, then we
Continuing to
got
watch the
Fox
cake
maybe taking
parade.
us back. Yeah.
No, you should master Yoda on Maura. That's what you should do.
Right.
Oh, we ain't
We're
like
not
that.
there. I don't talk to cops.
All right. Well,
I'll
after
smoke
your
their cigarettes.
scary little encounter there where you almost lost one of your own, you make it next, like I said, you had like half a mile, fourth of a mile left to town. You really didn't have very far. You walk for another, if you're going at a brisk pace, probably another like 10 minutes or so. Maybe that's just me because I go through miles way too fast on my stepper.
Oh, I'm fast. Fast, we got this.
Well, you gotta remember, we got Huxley.
Boss baby bringing up the back, yeah.
I'm
This is
sorry.
just me walking with my
Huxley.
friends. Like,
Huxley
stride is
has
cut in
foot, like,
half.
but Huxley is waiting on the rest of you. He moves as fast as he wants to, but it's nice of you to be considerate.
Oh, I'm very concerned.
You're not the
about
only
this.
one with a fun magic item, darling. It's gonna be good.
Alright.
The whole walk to
Appreciate
town
it.
is lightened purely by the banter between Maura and Huxley, kind of back and forth, trying to agitate each other, trying not really to agitate each other. As you're getting closer to town, you begin to notice that the fog begins to lighten up a bit. You're not really sure if it's just due to the fact you're getting out of the forest, trees are lightening up, or if it's more so a magical thing that just seems to not be penetrating the village just yet. But you make it to the village, and as you get there, you notice there's probably, I'd say, between like 8 and 10 feet stone wall that just surrounds the entirety of this little village. And there's little gateways open here and there. There's nobody guarding the gateways, which kind of renders them useless. But after the encounter you just had, you begin to think that perhaps the wall isn't quite so much to keep people out as it is creatures. You very easily are able to slip into the town. Once inside, you can begin to see the moon come out a little bit more. It's full swing night now. It's dark. Very quaint little village, actually. You would probably think it's very cute if not for the experience you just had. Like little cobblestone streets. There's a nice tiny little town square with like a lovely little fountain. All the houses seem to follow the same, as I've told all of you, think like almost like Bloodborne in a way, of like little Victorian houses lining the street. Some of them are like shockingly brightly colored, almost like the little houses in Sweden. It's a very cute little village. Just you're still very shaken up by the experience that you just had, whether you're showing it or not. You come across the first inn that you see, the first inn and tavern that you see, called the Bottomless Cauldron. And you can tell from the inside, lights are on. You can hear a lot of people on the inside. It seems, for the most part, like a nice place so you could go in, get a drink, relax after what just happened, all of that kind of stuff. If anything, you can at least find someone in there who maybe can help you. You all gather your way in, or squeeze your way in there, and you find a table kind of close to the door. You gather yourselves around this table, just kind of trying to gather your bearings. Nobody really seems to look at you. And as you're glancing around the bar, you begin to notice one woman in particular that seems to be staring at you a little too intently. The barmaid behind the bar is a gray-skinned tiefling, black hair, looks like me. And you just
found her, guys!
You just kind of notice. You just kind of notice she's going about serving people, but every now and then her eye seems to be trailing suspiciously over towards you.
So let's hope bottomless means bottomless, because I need a drink.
You want me to go get you something? I was just about to go up.
I mean, if you want to pick me up something strong, I'd love that.
Oh, it always snows when Auntie Esther's in town, baby.
Always does. I meant drink. I didn't mean nothing like that.
Hey, you could be sugar baby. Who cares?
Better go fast.
Isn't that what an aunt and niece relationship is?
You want a tattoo? Come with Auntie Esther.
Yeah.
I could use
Remington's
another one.
also
It's a
definitely
big
going to be
deal when a
approaching
girl
the
gets her
bar.
first ink.
His flask is a little empty. By the way, everyone just got guidance thanks to Gothic
Ooh.
Gamer gave me one,
yeah.
and then Grim gave everybody one, I believe.
Nice.
Thank you so much.
Already dishing out the stuff, even though they just followed. Thanks, Gothic.
Yeah,
Nice, thank
The
you.
best.
Join to the Discord too.
Oh, heck yeah.
Ooh.
But yeah,
Welcome.
Remington
You can
will
see us
also
be
going
fools
to the
in
bar.
there.
Mhm. All right, we got two heading up to the bar. It's pretty packed in this little space. Definitely makes you question if fire code is being considered. You know, it's pretty tight in here. The village is
I'm shackled.
No
busier
social
than it
distancing.
typically- No, none at all. It's just like in Texas.
Nice.
But yeah, you're able to find a way. Like you kind of squeeze yourself into an empty spot. You gather just from how busy it is in here that there's probably a lot of people that have traveled for this festival. Like some of them clearly stand out as likely not locals, you know, like maybe a little too pristinely dressed, or they don't really look like they are probably from this area type of thing. Huxley kind of has to like, you know, wait for a stool to clear up so that he can kind of like throw himself up there so that he can
This is
get level.
very unfortunate. Instead, he will take his cane and he will hold it
Cane
behind his
slides up
back,
over.
and he will sit on his cane, and then his cane will lift him up to the bar level.
That's cute. That's real cute.
Nice.
I think Maura's definitely keeping an eye. Well, so we've noticed that this other tiefling is keeping an eye on us, right?
Yeah, you can very easily notice.
Okay.
We're all
She's
shaken
like
up.
just kind of
Yeah.
leaning back and just like clocking her occasionally, being like, "What's her
You
deal?"
specifically, Maura, notice she begins to notice you clocking her. Notice her eyebrow kind of. She does that sort of thing as she glances. Yeah,
Noticing you.
yeah. It takes her a minute to get over to you guys, as it is pretty busy. But when she finally does, she comes over and first looks to Esther as, you know, standing even with your little broom and your little cane, my friend. Still, she's the imposing presence
Oh,
here, you
no.
know, like she's a showgirl. She's gonna be the first one anyone looks at, okay?
And the last.
Yeah. She looks at you guys for a second. Doesn't even really first ask what it is that you want. It's just, so all of you need something pretty strong.
I
Bring
say
something
so.
over to your table. Don't worry. It'll be there in a second. With that, she turns away from you. And this is the first time you notice on the other end of the bar, curled up in like a tiny little bed, it's a little like orangey pink cat. And you watch her walk over and like kind of tap the cat lovingly on the head. You hear her whisper something, and with that, you two see a very clear image of this. Those of you still at the table see part of this. You watch the cat get up, stretches her little back, does like a nice little cat arch, and she pounces in behind the bar. And where once was a cat, you see a tall pink tiefling woman stand up from behind the bar. Her tail begins to slowly swish and stop being furry and feline-like and become that classic tiefling spade tail. Just don't worry, doll. I got it. I can get everybody. And you clearly see all of the regulars. You can tell from the moment that Rosie is the one behind the bar. They're kind of like, oh, thank God, it's her kind of thing. And with that, the gray tiefling grabs 6 glasses and a very big bottle of brandy off of the top shelf and comes walking over to the table with you.
Well, that's so sweet of you, doll.
Yeah,
Love your style, by the way.
much obliged.
He hears the style comment, kind of looks down, just I go out hunting and all of this. It's not really style. And she sits the glasses down on the table, scoots the bottle into the middle of the table so that you all can get yourselves first. And she leans back, basically does like that thing of like pulls up chair, like completely spreads out, like foot on table, that sort of thing.
That's how I'm sitting right now.
Yeah, just mirrored on opposite ends of the table.
When they say sit like a lady,
Like,
and you're just
literally.
like, okay.
Yeah. 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 But yeah, she's glancing all about at you and just seen this look, and I've seen it once before. You've seen it, haven't you?
What you talking about?
Creature? Talking to all of you, darling.
Well, I
Before we
mean, you'll have to be
continue,
specific. We saw a couple things on our way over here.
I think you understand exactly what it is I mean. What, creature you saw?
shoot a glance over at Walker, see how he wants to play this. By the way, is it all right if I smoke in here?
She does like a very deadpan glance around the room that's very clearly hazed with smoke. It's like,
I
my guest, I really don't care.
Walker pulls he's got a bright yellow overcoat on. He kind of pulls it a little bit closer.
Of course,
kind
he's got a bright yellow coat on.
You would.
He pulls it a little bit over his kind of the blood-stained shirt underneath. It's like
Keep it subtle.
we've seen a few things. Some of the more recent made an impression. What do you know? What else have you? What do you know about that thing?
I know a few things. Clearly not enough to have done it in yet, as it's still roaming about. She gets up from her complete like man spread at the end of this table and like leans forward, and as nobody's taken a glass yet, you watch her like grab one and like plunk it on the table and very heavily handed pour herself a drink before sitting back in her spot and just. My sister always tells me that I'm not always the most personable. I probably should tell you my name is Scarlet before we really continue with all of this. But yes,
Lovely to meet you, Scott.
creature. See the blood on you, and I can see the haunted looks on all of your faces. I assume you've seen it. Very easy to pick out when someone has seen it. Not many people make it out when they have.
Is this a normal thing around here?
Normal for the past 2 weeks, I'd say. It's kind of showed up. Been tracking it for a while. I lost it for about a year. We showed up here. It went away. I don't know if it hibernates or what the bloody thing does, but now it's back. And I want its head on a plate.
I know a little bit about that. I think Maura's gonna like grab herself a glass, top it off, and then like grab one, fill it for Delphie too. Probably a little less heavy-handed.
Moira does that
Mostly
thing, like,
ice.
Maura does that thing like a kid where like she pours the glass, takes a sip, fills it again. Like-
No, absolutely. Like exactly.
Yeah.
Thanks, Maura.
Oh, anytime, sweetheart. And she's gonna like look at Scarlet and be like, "Listen, we just came here for the festivities. Weren't quite expecting that thing. You said it's just been like 2 weeks."
It resurfaced. I've been on his trail for a while. I tracked it here, and it just up and disappeared. And I couldn't find its trail anywhere else, so I've been stuck here. And thankfully, I didn't go anywhere. It's come back.
Well, I mean, so I don't think it's here for funnel cake.
Given it seems to like to eat the flesh off of bone, I don't think it likes funnel cake.
Yeah, probably not.
Speaking of
think it's
which,
been
I
tracking you, doll?
prestidigitate Delphie's drink to make it taste like funnel cake.
Oh, that's cute.
Thanks, hon.
A wet funnel cake?
Dude, funnel cake brandy sounds dope. What are you
Actually,
talking
kind
about?
of. Yeah, that's not bad.
That sounds
really good.
sick.
Yeah.
And cake and powdered
Good
sugar.
stuff anyway.
Damn, so I need to go get a funnel cake and then just like
We all have
brandy
funnel cakes.
glaze or something.
We all have funnel cakes for next Monday's episode. Like we're all sitting here covered in powdered sugar. Like
We'll find one.
It always snows when Auntie Esther's. Never mind.
By that, it's just funnel cake.
It's just funnel cake.
Hey, Banjo, what up?
I have a very specific set of skills
so-
and offers. As
so
long as I
you've-
funnel cake.
You've been hunting this thing, you say. Where did you first encounter it? What is it? What have you learned so far, other than the fact that it's strangely resilient?
yes, that's one of the first things you kind of come across on it. It seems like no matter what you pump into it, it just seems fine, right?
I just
Weird.
I pour myself a drink while she says that.
Yeah.
Well, it's something like that, yes.
Other things I've noticed over the time. You probably have already caught on to as well. Maybe some of them you haven't. There's a knack for impersonating those it's devoured.
Yeah, I didn't like that part. Wasn't a fan.
Yeah. Foul creature, really. Everything about it is just terrible. It also seems to gain things from those it eats, not just voices, sounds. Time I've come across it after a known time in which it's fed, it seems to have something new it can do.
Oh.
Now this one, I don't exactly know if it's true or not. Some kind of crazy guy, and she kind of glances at Virgil at this point, not really saying anything, but just kind of like, kind of give me the vibe.
Look.
But yeah,
Oh, me?
just somebody once told me a certain things, certain plants that maybe weaken it, but for all I know, he got eaten the next night because we never saw him again. He might have been wrong there, I don't really know. The last thing I know about this creature. At this point, she's finished off her glass and she reaches over to pour another one. And you watch before she even continues, she like picks it up and like almost does like a shot glass with it. And this is like a normal sized little whiskey glass, and she downs the whole thing really quick before sitting it on the table. Last thing I've learned about this foul creature. Get away from it. It mocks you. I'll never stop hunting you until you've been its meal.
I mean, I
It
understand.
mocked you, didn't it, doll?
At this point, the pink tiefling comes around the bar. It seems to have calmed down a little bit and that people aren't always asking for drinks. And she's carrying a large plate of bread and butter and sits it down on the plate, like on the table, a little, like none too gently, and very clearly picks up a piece and sits it in front of Scarlet and is like, eat that. I'm not gonna have you wake up drunk again, kind of thing. And
Delphie leans across the table with like her arms up on it and grabs a piece and some butter.
as you reach for one, Delphie specifically, the pink tiefling, her name is Rosie, glances over at you, just, well, don't make sure you get the butter over there. She like starts scooting things specifically to you, kind of like eat.
Thank you.
Like,
Thank you.
This is getting
Yeah.
out of hand. Oh,
I want Rosie to be my girlfriend.
Yeah.
I either want to be
James'
her or be
girlfriend
with
just
her.
found out.
Feel
Yeah.
that.
Rosie may be in this seat next week. Who knows? Because I'm gonna dress up for all of our games because I'm stupid like that. But anyway, um,
Scar.
what is everybody's passive perception while you're all sitting at this table?
19.
14.
11.
21, did you say? Or was that
12.
12? Okay.
Yeah, no, James is 12. What's yours?
Oh, well then.
I'm right there with
14.
Ellie at an 11.
11. Okay. Maddy or Delphie, you definitely notice this. Virgil, really out of how paranoid you are of things all the time, you also notice this.
That's exactly where the score came from, yes.
Yeah. As Rosie is leaning across the table and handing Delphie different things, you both see what looks almost like 3 claw marks. Almost look like they're branded into her skin, sliced up her arm. And she kind of gently pats her sister's head and goes back to the bar with a very much like that swishy walk, like her tail's going with her as she's going, like her heels are clacking as she's going, and she's back around the bar helping people. And you can see that Scarlet's very quiet for a second. It's just, I have reasons I want this thing gone.
I turn away and just kind of coyly look down at my chest where I got clawed. Just kind of count the marks.
You don't see anything that doesn't look abnormal to a scar there. However, if you look at the back of your wrist, if any of you look at the back of your wrist, at this point you will notice the same markings. Look like they should be scratches until you look closer. They look like they've been branded to you almost, which is weird because you never felt this. It's just now a mark that you seem to see on your body.
I was going to look down for claw marks to see if I had 3, and then I'm just like,
Oh, I'm good. Doesn't check anywhere
Virgil,
else.
Virgil just starts going,
Oh, thank God.
In case it matters, my passive perception is actually wrong. It's 14.
Oh, well, then you also were able to notice the lines on her wrist.
Okay.
Virgil's doing himself a concern because out of all the places he got scratched, his wrist wasn't one of them.
Delphie raises her hand and goes,
Excuse me, Miss Scarlet? Does this
Hmm?
count?
She is doing the dead-eyed look of just like looking back and forth between you and the wrist and you and the wrist, and it's kind of like those of you with the like the adults, especially at the table, can kind of see that processing of like, how do I nicely tell her I just said that kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's like the adults at the table.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Delphie like glances around and just like lowers her wrist in an understanding.
I think seeing Delphie do that, Maura like looks and she just kind of like, shit. Okay.
Yeah.
Not the first time I've had someone on my tail.
I reach out and hold Esther's hand and then peek at her wrist while I do so. Well, it seems some of us have that in common. How is it that you have managed to elude it? Or do you think did you, and if you don't mind my asking, did you follow it here or vice versa?
I followed it here. The only reason that Rosie is still here with me, I don't like to think that I use her as bait. She's a surefire means that the thing is going to stay near me if she's still here with me.
I guess we're gonna stick around and get it taken care of.
Be for the best. Been here for 2 weeks that we know of, and so far, 10 to 12 people have gone missing. Some bodies found, some not.
It's interesting.
Well, we
It's
can't guarantee getting rid of it permanently, but well, my husband here is actually pretty good with investigating eldritch creature. So, if there's anything you need to tell him, perhaps he can put some pieces together. Maybe you can do that, right, baby?
Well, naturally, of course. I do see it seem to be a little bit out of my element in this particular circumstance, but I do hope and suppose that something useful will come up soon.
You watch her kind of crack a little laugh at like the mention of like I seem to be out of my element here. She's pulling a cigarette out of her pocket, and those of you with the 14 or higher perception can also see Rosie from behind the bar, just kind of like as she sees the cigarette get lit up.
That's very good.
Yeah. And Scarlett's just kind of like, I don't really think there's any creature out there you can really be prepared for. If you think you can help me, I will happily give you room and board here. In exchange that you help me with the hunt. Really is only going to help both of us when you think about it, as all of you are now marked. I don't want my sister to become a meal for some disgusting creature.
of course, darling. Nope, nobody wants that. Now, if I'm remembering correctly, you said that this thing, whatever it is, and we should probably come up with a name for it. Maybe you have a name for it, but we'll use that. But we'll come to that.
Doesn't need a name. It's a monster. If you want to name it, by all means.
Okay, well, I'll think about that. Delphie will probably come up with something if none of us stop her. Nonetheless, if it can imitate and gain power from the things that it has eaten, and several people in the community have gone missing, I would like to talk to you at a later time about who those people were and what they did, and maybe even what they sounded like, so that we can have a good idea of what we're up against.
Sure, we can always go to the corners. And mind, though, it fully depends on those that we know are missing, because there may be more that we do not know.
Of course,
Missing.
of course. There's plenty that we're going to have to investigate, but knowing what we can know would be very helpful.
I'm sorry, I just saw Grimforge say this critter likes the long pig desserts, and I'm like trying not to laugh.
We're up against Hannibal Lecter.
Listen, I don't particularly see all of you, and I mean this in the kindest of ways possible. I'm not asking you to help me because I think you have tremendous things to offer, but primarily because you're still here. You've actually seen it. That's quite the feat for this creature. Does nothing but wreak havoc, destruction, chaos, death, everywhere that it has been.
I dare say, madam, that perhaps you have underestimated us, and if we are fortunate, perhaps the monster will make the same mistake. Now, isn't that right, Maura?
That's. I'm like looking down. Like,
Turns, looks down.
I just kind of like regard it and be like, mm-hmm. I would say, as far as rooms go, are we able to get rooms near your sister?
You know, I stay up top floor. Usually we don't rent out that floor, but I suppose we could at least let some of you up there.
Well,
They
you
get-
see, my
get in
niece
the
here,
guard.
she's quite protective, but she's got some connections that might be able to help your sister out. They're a very generous family.
Oh yeah.
To be honest, her vibe seems quite good to me. You know, we seem to square up pretty well the whole time. They've probably
I feel like
been
that
like
we were in the
staring
exact same
across.
position and didn't face each other.
Yeah.
Just,
It's that dead-eyed stare just
I,
across the table.
Like, we both know what's happening here, but we won't mention it.
I certainly appreciate the invitation to join you and Rosie upstairs, but I am married, so perhaps one of the younger ones would be best sent up there to keep you company.
We're not telling you to
Yeah,
share
no,
the
yeah,
room
that's
just so we
just-
give you a room.
Oh,
I
Of
was
course.
asking about the floor, just to make sure that we got a perimeter on it. I figure if we put enough of us in one place, that thing's gonna come.
Fully honest, that's quite smart, as it seems to always take people by surprise when you wouldn't expect a giant lumbering creature like that to do it. We've managed
mean-
fine on our own until now, but like I said, I offered you room in exchange for helping me.
And we humbly accept. I know that we don't look like much, but I dare say I've been. I've probably spent your lifetime studying these sorts
Really?
these sorts of creatures.
How old do you think I am? And how old are you?
As a tiefling, I suppose you must be perhaps 30s.
She kind of laughs into her now filled glass again. It's like, let you think that, let you think that.
Suffice
Wait,
to
she's
say,
an older
looks
lady. How you
absolutely
doing?
flawless.
I think that you'll find us quite capable, dare I say, dangerous. Should we be given cause to be?
Now, warn you, if you're dangerous in my inn, getting kicked out with an arrow in your butt. It's a warning.
Yes,
That's
yes,
fair.
quite.
Possibly an arrow to the knee, too, depending on how
No, don't say
not
that.
gracious I'm
that would-
feeling in the day.
That would end my adventuring career.
I would very much prefer to leave my knees and my hookish unmolested.
Hey, I don't know anyone.
I would
can,
have to
aim
take up a
that well.
position as a town guard.
Listen, the town guard works very hard. I used to work very closely with that outfit. Just show them a little respect, if you please.
Listen, I understand.
No, I
every
really
house
like a
got rules.
style.
Yes. Nah, if you ever need a couple favors, you're treating us well, so I can call them in.
We humbly accept your offer of lodgings.
Yes, and if you would please pass the libations in this general.
He's like, booze, please.
I reach out and
Many
scoot some
please.
over.
Yeah.
Very good. The short arms, you realize. And I hate to cast Mage Hand in a tavern.
Yeah.
Take
As
this
Delphie
shit
reaches across-
outside.
Yeah, as Delphie reaches across for the bottle. There's a few patrons you can definitely tell that are glancing, kind of like, is she old enough to drink that? But Starlet clearly is just like, I don't care.
If I notice
Let
anyone
her.
looking at
Enough.
Delphie like that, I am staring daggers. Like,
With as you're asking for the booze, she stands up, scooches it further across towards Delphie and you, with a smile on her face, and is just like, say that's on the house. I think you're gonna need a stiff drink for the night. When you're ready for
Like you
sleep,
already know me.
when you're ready for sleep, come get one of us. We'll get you keys. Be up bright and early in the morning. No matter how much you consume tonight, we're gonna start hunting early. With that, she turns around and walks away, and you can definitely see a couple of the patrons at the bar kind of like, oh, she's coming back. Like,
Love
I
that
like
for
her.
her.
Like
I really
her.
do like her style. She gets things done.
seems reasonable.
I had a partner pretty much like her once, I think. So,
Although it does make me a little worried with, this situation.
Yeah.
Hey, we got another worse.
Maybe it's just being in a new town that makes me a little bit more nervous.
Absolutely.
Also, I'd hate for your mother to have my head over me losing the two of you on a trip where we're supposed to just be on vacation.
Hey, Mom knows what I do.
Yeah.
Because I'm
There's
around,
not always
guys
a
don't
return.
get too cut.
it's true, darling.
That
Thank
is
you
true.
very much for the reminder.
You're getting better too, Delphie. You're very fast.
Thank you. I'm trying. I mean, it's a good reason to keep me around and everything.
Oh, we're lucky to have you around anyway. Heels or not, what are you talking about?
Thank
And she'll kind of straighten your beret for a moment.
Huxley takes the bottle and begins to refill his flask and leans towards Walker and probably over Delphie to say,
Delphie just leans back. She's used to the whispers.
I,
Like your
catch
friends
her
in a
chair.
movie theater.
yeah.
It's kind of
I think like Delph probably wouldn't have the situational awareness to be like, this is too far, so I'm like holding her chair so she doesn't fall.
Listen, Professor, it's been a while since I've been on the manhunt.
Been a
so,
while.
You know,
Been a
so
while.
the way that thing moves, and I still got a beat on it, and it's far enough away that I feel comfortable at the moment. So I think I'm gonna maybe see if I can wake this coroner up and do a little poking around. And don't worry, you stay with the ladies and keep them safe, and I'll let you know what I find out in the morning.
All right, very well. Do make sure you get some sleep.
Hey Hux, you get a ping, you come back.
Oh,
Appreciate your suggestion, Maura, and I will definitely not be caught with my pants down by some skittering, horrible monstrosity. I will be coming straight to you when my ass needs defending.
And here,
Glad we
take
got an
this.
understanding.
And I pass you a healing potion.
If you're
Aw.
going on your own and I can't be there with you or anything.
Always looking out for me, Delphie. You're a doll. That's nice of you.
You're welcome.
excuse me for a moment, and I'll go up to the bar. Oh, there's just one more thing, Miss Scarlet. This this beastie, whatever it is we're going to call it, has it ever been known to make a move against anyone who's been here in town, or is it exclusively when someone departs?
No, I'm pretty sure taking people out of the town.
Oh, well, fuck.
See, the walls do great.
Well, fuck.
Perhaps,
The walls do
Huxley.
really great with like wolves and those kinds of things. But I mean, have you seen the things limbs? 4 foot tall wall's not going to do a whole lot for that.
Yes. Well, yes, I have. Yes, I have.
If it helps you rest any easier, we have one marked already in this house, and thus far we've been okay. We have a few safety precautions in measure, so. Better sleep tonight. You're going to be of no use to me in the morning if you're dead tired. Just telling you right now.
So I'm an elf. I don't really. It's all right. It's quite hard. We'll be sure that we're quite well rested and ready when the time comes. I'll put the girls and the gnome to bed for you. Don't worry.
You hear like a gentle, like, kind of noise, like a flop kind of noise. And you're fairly certain that just pure to how, like, rude she was, that Rosie has slapped her with a towel.
Yeah, that's sisters.
Yep.
Actually, perhaps it's best if you don't go running off by yourself this late at night. Maybe we pay him a visit in the morning. Or perhaps Esther and I could substitute for you so that you could get your shut eye.
You know, Professor is close enough to Doctor, and if the Doctor recommends that I get my sleep, I will sleep.
If you say
The only issue I could see arising in this situation is Hux got the ping. You guys have no way of knowing if this thing's coming back.
And frankly, we're about running out of the ping, and I'm just gonna call it the Howler for now, and the Howler may be coming back at any point, and I will be as clueless as the rest of you.
I'd rather keep us together if we don't know. You know?
That's fair. It's not bad idea. It's fair.
Well, Esther, darling, we shall have a little bit of time to ourselves then, it seems. While everyone else is resting.
Well,
Maura
no,
is
I
like,
kind of wanted to talk to Scarlet and Rosie a little bit more before we go.
Well, we shall do that. But the rest of you should probably get some shut-eye, unless there's anything else we need to discuss this evening.
It's excited about the sleepover, really.
Yes, do give Huxley some grace. He's a terrible snorer.
it's alright, I'll keep him quiet.
You can't prove that. I mean, it's your word against mine.
Well, he also doesn't sleep, so you know.
God, Virgil just sitting up in the middle of the night.
This is why he doesn't sleep.
It's just
Most
Because
people
they
have
have,
sleep
like,
paralysis
mathically
demons.
It wasn't because I'm
This
an
is just a
elf.
sleep
It's because
paralysis
Huxley
Virgil is the
snores.
demon. Yeah, no, Virgil is the demon.
This is just a human man.
Just listening to Huxley talk in his sleep, being like, when I was on the force.
Yeah,
He's just like, God, I wish I could sleep.
Elementary, my dear Friday.
I think, like,
Hey,
Maura's
Dabs
gonna...
made a clip. Yay. Good job, Dabs.
Yay.
Maura's gonna finish off like a second drink and look over at Delphie and be like, "You looking tired, sweetheart?
A little sleepy.
So you want to head on up?"
Sure.
So we'll head up to the front and I'll be like, "Hey, Ska, those keys. Did we get those?"
She
Please.
pulls out one set from her pocket that clearly you can very quickly tell is like house keys of sorts, as in like that top floor is probably locked off from the rest of the patrons.
Mhm.
She tosses them to you. She doesn't necessarily give you room keys, as that top floor is theirs essentially. Like it's their little
Like an
space.
apartment sort of thing.
I kind of think like when people have a store and like their living space is above it, sort of
Mhm.
thing. So like it's a 3-story building with the second floor primarily being for guests, and the third floor is theirs all the way up.
Okay.
But yeah,
I'll be like, "Well, we're just so that we're not intruding on anybody's space. Where do you guys sleep?"
there's going to be a door that you see that's covered in flowers because of this one. And she points over to Rosie. Yeah, just
Oh.
that one's her. That one's ours. That one's, don't go touching her things, her flowery things. But any of the other rooms that have a bed, by all means, have at them.
Appreciate it. And I like. I don't think we
I
ever
know it
talked about
usually has
money,
like a
but-
different meaning. Like hang a sock on the outside of the door so that I know which one you're in. I know it doesn't mean what it actually means in this situation, but just
This
so
is my
we know.
cousin.
I know. Yeah. It's me. I can tell family. I can tell family.
I understand. And so I'll take the keys and I'm gonna
Oh my
toss her just
God.
a gold. Like, what happened?
My God.
There's two from your own
There's like
party.
5
Sure.
accomplices now.
Hey.
We're going to die.
I promised
damn.
on stream that I was saving my alt accounts channel
True.
points for Tyler. I didn't
That's
know that I was
true.
going to be a player at the time.
That's right. Before we decided that. But yeah.
You put in
You know, I know
2.
you.
You put in 2. I put in 1, and that brings us to a total of 5.
So I actually had to go and change the permissions on the channel so that I could put more than 3 in the same stream.
God.
You know, I know you got your problems with Maura, but like,
we're gonna
this is a little excessive.
Okay,
TPK, how
I'll
cute.
find. I didn't think we were gonna get this many, so I'll figure out what to do with them.
People want to see Rob die, and
They hate
the
me
rest of us
already.
are just collateral damage.
Yeah, you're given the keys, and once you get up there, it's a pretty cozy, actually, little apartment area. It's technically about the size of like a flat house almost, like because it's very wide and it's kind of spreads out into a bunch of little rooms and stuff like that. You can very easily tell which parts of this living space Rosie has decorated and which parts more so Scarlet has just taken, because you find a room that's like, got like hunting gear and stuff like that just kind of thrown in the corner, and like it's not well kept. And like then like in the kitchen, there's like flowers on the table and like little things hanging on the walls, and like you can definitely tell who's done what and where.
I love that.
So before we go upstairs and check that out, right as we're
Uh-huh.
like heading out, Maura's walking away. Delphie like leans across the bar and grabs Scarlet's hands, and she goes,
Your kindness and generosity does not go unnoticed in Ozolus slumber. And please know that karma will continue to bless you with these kindnesses going forward. Good night.
And she hops off and follows Maura.
I
You,
just
you,
picture
you just all watch her there, just like, and you can like tell, like in her mind, she's probably thinking, like, did I do the right thing hiring that one?
we're a package deal, honey.
Yeah,
Dude, you captured the perfect New Yorker plucky missionary.
really. Yeah.
Excellently.
That's. I think
It's
if
Harley
there's
Quinn meets Phoebe Buffet.
Like if there
Very
were
much.
if there were a flapper youth director, that'd
There you
probably be
go.
the vibes.
I used to be the worship leader for my dad's like back when I went to church and stuff. I
Yeah,
I was the
baby.
worship leader for my dad's youth group,
Mhm.
and yeah, that's
Youth
All
solid
about
vibes.
Ozolith, baby.
the
May he
Ozzy.
continue to sleep.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna if they have like a big stuffy chair or like any form of chair, I'm gonna like settle into one of those and just kind of like, and that's where I'm gonna sleep for the night. That way,
I will
if I need to
find
get up, I'm up.
the nearest comfy surface to her chair, be that a couch or a bed
Yeah.
or whatever.
It's a very plush looking couch
I
with way
curl
too
up
many
there.
pillows on it. Yeah.
Oh, I sink into like the pillow nest. You can only see
Okay.
her little horns
I was
sticking
gonna say,
out.
you guys come in and it's just like Delphie. It's one tiefling sitting straight up in a chair stiff, and then
Delphie's
it's the
like-
other one that's just like
I think
very
I've got
Nice.
like I've like reached over and like while we're falling asleep, I'm just giving like Delphi little scritches on the head, and so like by the
Oh.
time we fall asleep, you walk in and like I've got like a hand on her, just because like that's my girl.
Aw. Just a hand directly on the face, and you fall asleep there, and you're just like, peace.
Esther,
Alright.
darling.
That's just how the homies are at sleepover.
Esther, darling, are we staying down here to question or to pry?
Well, I mean, I don't see really any problem with them so far. I don't really have any reason to pry yet.
That's-
Besides, if anything, I think I'm more interested in, if I had to, Miss Rosie. Because, I mean, if she's been marked, then she's seen it. She might have hints in her brain somewhere. You know, like how you get patches where you lose some things, and so you just have to sift through it.
Should you like to have a conversation with her then? We can pry her away from her patrons.
Absolutely.
See
Also, she just seems like a doll, doesn't she?
She reminds me a little bit of
that.
Delphie if she stood up to Maura a little bit more.
It's exactly
Tried
what
to-
I was
if she tried to
thinking.
keep, if she tried to keep Maura at night.
As you
Maura
say,
would
she's
never do
such a
anything
doll.
to Delphi.
Wouldn't that be
Yeah.
something? Wouldn't that be something?
How
And
dare you?
as you say that she's a doll, you very loudly hear from the bar, clearly in Rosie's accent, is like, it's still British, but like a little bit quirkier and nice and all that stuff. And you definitely hear just like a, Seamus, you had one too many. Out. Like, very loud.
Cockney.
Yeah.
Sounds like a seat just opened up. Oh, shall we, my dear?
That's very good.
Fuck Seamus. All my homies hate Seamus.
F in the chat for Seamus.
Before we get
Fs.
into another big conversation, Huxley, what are you doing?
L's
Are you
in the
staying
chat for Seamus.
downstairs? Do you want to go upstairs? Sorry, I got your pizza bite.
That's all right. Perhaps this was a failed insight check on the part of Rob or Huxley, perhaps both. The Lady Esther's interest in the two attractive demon women, not related to her by any means. It seemed like she might not want to question or pry, but perhaps proposition. So I decided that maybe I was unwelcome and went upstairs with the other girls.
You can definitely find yourself a nice little spot where you can, you know, have some quiet to yourself if that's what you'd like.
If I shamefully request a separate room from the girls and perhaps an adjacent room, would that be available?
Yeah, it seems like they've kind of just taken the living room, and that's just the spot that they decided on.
Slumber
But yeah, there's
party.
definitely but yeah, there's
Yeah.
definitely like you find a room, basically find what's definitely like a guest room aside from the door that they were told not to really mess with because it was their room, but you definitely find a guest room. And I would think probably in Huxley's mind, he would kind of think, oh, that can be for the married couple kind of thing. So then you instead go and look around a little bit and you find what's essentially like an office that has like one of those like not pull out chairs, but like like a day bed sort of thing in it, and that's you can definitely relax there and have your own space.
As I'm up here once, and I'm not too tired, and I'm used to the late nights out on the beat, and also just staying up late enough to drink enough to where I can fall asleep some nights. I kind of wait till the other girls are passing out, and I'm going to sit up here in this room, and I'm going to begin casting Nystul's magic aura
Nice.
again and again, and seeing if I can somehow mask myself or duplicate the mark. And I don't know that I will necessarily have success, but I'm going to spend my evening before I turn in trying to discover if I can perhaps hide myself or perhaps make a false trail.
All right, give me
And I don't even need to know right now if I succeed or fail, but that's what he's doing.
go ahead and roll an intelligence check, and I'll let the other two do their thing for a bit, and we'll get back. Okay?
Jane, roll an intelligence check for me, and then we'll get back to the rest and do their thing.
And do that.
I just realized I still had all of these D8s scattered everywhere.
You need Ellie.
Just before
Let's see.
Maura goes to sleep, I say I'm like, petting Delphie and stuff, and like I wait
You got
till
a
she,
10.
I wait
Plus
till she's
whatever.
sleeping, and I want to just be like, hey Vec, I'm gonna need some opinions on this one. If you're there, I'm listening. If not, I get it, and then I'll turn in.
What was your total after 10 intelligence?
If it's just flat intelligence, it's 15.
Okay. We'll come back to both of those two things in a second. Married couple.
Yeah.
It's your
Fade to
turn.
black.
It's that like to be continued scream with the music. Yeah.
Dong dong.
But the SpongeBob one.
To be continued.
3 hours later.
1 eternity later.
It's all you,
Where's the
girl.
one where he's like, oh, okay. I was just gonna keep talking about SpongeBob. Glad you said something. It's on the mind.
No, that's the aboleth.
You got me there. It's the fish in my brain. What of it?
Yeah. We'll just say because you had already been on the way there that you were able to get that seat and eventually another cleared up. So like
Yes.
Virgil being
what
the
I'll
type
do
of person
is
that he
Seamus is so mid.
I'm someone with like a negative, a -2 to my charisma. I'm just gonna get really close to whoever's sitting next to her until they get uncomfortable and leave.
You hover.
just like make eye contact to the back of their head.
You just
Picturing-
smell like blood.
I'm
and
picturing
BO.
that like monkey puppet thing that's kind of going like, and like eventually it gets up and leaves.
Or maybe I'll give him a so the haunted one background says those who look into your eyes can see that you have faced unimaginable horror and that you are no stranger to darkness. Though they might fear you, they will extend you every courtesy and do their utmost to help you, like maybe giving me their seat.
You can tell this person is very uncomfortable, and at some point, a few minutes into you doing this, Scarlet comes and leans against the bar, and they're kind of like, "It's too much." With both of you.
Now I've
there,
got it
and
from
they
2
leave.
directions.
Yeah.
Niall?
We actually had a. Is your sister available? We wanted to have a word.
She turns around and somewhat unceremonious, just Rosie.
Well, we've
Over
already
here.
made your lovely acquaintance. We're just hoping to make hers as well.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. I'll deal with the patrons for right now. And like somebody nearby is just like yeah, they trade places and Rosie comes over to you and like she is much friendlier than her sister. Like she leans over on the bar and like she's like fluffing up her short pink hair and all that kind of stuff. Her tail's like wagging behind her like happily. Just oh, you ask for me?
Oh yeah, of course, doll. So your name was Rosie?
Rosemary, Rosie, whatever you feel like. Whatever you feel like.
Aw. Well then I'll do Rosie. It's what your sister called you. Is that okay?
It's totally fine. Totally fine.
All right,
And
perfect.
you are?
My name's Esther. Esther Alighieri Walker, and this is
I
my
love
husband.
your necklace, darling. It's so gorgeous.
Oh, thank you.
And
It's
she like
actually
glances
new.
over at Virgil real quick, but definitely is like, I don't want to be rude and look away from the lady. So like immediately goes back.
So, this would also be my husband. He's the one who's been helping do a little bit of investigation in eldritch and aberrant areas of study. He's really quite talented.
The
But
spooky
so,
things, as I've heard. Yeah.
yeah, so I have been hearing from your sister that this creature's that been coming around, it's been giving you a little bit of trouble before, is that right?
And at this, you can see like her smile doesn't crack or fade or anything, but like you see that she's like kind of tugging at her sleeve a bit. Just yeah, it's well,
A
because
little
it's
bit.
interesting, you know. I mean, no, don't worry about prying. I mean, she's already told me you're gonna help.
Well, no, I was gonna offer. I have a specific set of talents, and I was wondering if I could possibly uh peer into your mind a little bit.
I mean, if it's not gonna hurt, then sure, by all means. I don't
Oh.
mind. I mean, I
Oh.
love going to get like tarot readings and all that stuff. So go
It's
ahead.
pretty similar, actually. So,
Doesn't hurt at all. She has to do it for me all the time. It's the only way I can find my
Yeah.
things.
so sometimes it's like if you can't figure out
surprising.
something in your brain, you know how they say that everything is kind of stored back in long-term, short-term memory, and then things just kind of
Yeah.
forget, but your brain never actually gets rid of it. So what I do is I kind of act as a sift and move through those little veils until I can find what might be helpful. And you don't have to go through any of it. I just kind of pick and choose and see what comes out. I thought maybe if I did and you've seen it before as well, then maybe we could get some hints about it.
Sure. We can always give it a try. I mean, even if it doesn't work tonight, we can always try it some other time too.
Of course, again, I never want to stress you out, but if you feel any pain or get a headache or anything,
Honey, I'm a
please let me know.
bartender. It takes a whole lot to get me stressed out.
Aw, that's
Oh,
the
yeah.
spirit.
We've met her sister, my darling.
Of course, I just like to be a little bit accommodating.
And now you understand you are most likely going to be probing for her, perhaps some of her least pleasant memories. So do be careful, all right?
Don't worry, darling. Do
No.
your worst. No, it's probably not going to be the most pleasant thing, but I mean, not everything always is pleasant. Just how it works. My
Of
help.
course.
Yes. Well, I was
Think like you're an
I was
archaeologist
actually,
for all you want.
as strange as it is to say, I was actually speaking out of concern for my wife. She's very careful.
Oh.
No harm will befall you. It's
I didn't think at all about that. That's completely. I understand. I totally
No,
understand.
it's no problem. Again, this is all something that just happens into my brain.
This is definitely one of those like two people that are way too nice have just met and just like, you're so great. No, you're
Oh,
so
yeah.
great.
Oh my
Yeah.
Yeah. When the two extroverts get together at the same party.
Tell me
this is
what
too
you
much.
need
I'm
for.
surrounded.
Sure. So, all I need you to do, and I'll hold out my hands. All I need you to do, just hold my hands here, and then I need you to think about anything close to what you remember of seeing its face, or anything you saw it do. anything at all, and you don't have to go very deep. I'll be able to kind of pick out the threads as I see them, okay?
All right, I'll do my best. I'll do my best. And she takes your hands and she curls them in a way so that her claws, her little tiefling claws, aren't poking you in any sort of way. And you notice they're very nicely manicured.
Oh, perfect. So are Esther's. So she just kind of like, oh yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
Virgil will look
Yeah.
at his hands and just kind of stick them in his pockets.
yeah.
Dirt under broken fingernails. Yeah. Closes her
Alrighty.
eyes and just if you watch her kind of like, whenever you're good, I got it.
Oh, I'm already doing it.
Now this is
I'm already inside you.
obviously a
You just
willing
can't feel
thing
it.
here. So
Yeah.
whatever you need to do is not nearly as difficult as if you were trying to do this on someone not willing. So
Cool.
yeah.
Okay, so I'm kind of doing a mix between using my telepathic link ability and like mind spike.
Okay.
Or I think or is it Tasha's mind?
Mind whip. Well,
Any
both
one
of
of
them.
those.
Mind whip definitely. Both of them can cause some damage if that's what you're intending, which I don't think it is. But I
Oh,
think
no, not that.
probably the first
But-
one you mentioned
Do you
would be
have
more
like
than the mind
detect
whip.
thoughts?
Yeah.
Because that would be
I can pretty much do
straight
that
up
at
digging,
will, so that's pretty much
Yeah,
it.
that's
Yeah.
a fine. We can
That
do
and then
detect
the psionic link that just kind of goes on top
Right.
of that.
Because
Yeah.
then you can talk while you're doing it and direct her thoughts.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Like a
Aberrant mind
loom.
sorcerers are fun. They're my favorite.
They're so weird. So glad I get to mess with one.
Yeah, you very easily are able to probe through her mind, and you can see a lot of very happy, bubbly thoughts. Like you know how you get that sense sometimes where people that are really happy and nice might have something hidden underneath. You're not really getting that with her. You get the sense that even though something bad has happened, she's pretty happy. And as you get a little further in, you begin to come to this conclusion that she's become this way, this happy, personable, bubbly person, out of two reasons. One, because her sister is not always the friendliest and she kind of has to put up a front for both of them. And two, because she's had a scare for her life and she's not sure how much longer she might be around. She'd rather be happy and friendly to everybody than she would spend the time scared, snapping at other people. And as you're latching on to that thought, you get a flash of the house. At first it looks normal, until you look a little closer and see that the front door is hanging open and slightly off its hinges. And it kind of in a weird blur where you're not seeing everything, almost like you're seeing it through her eyes as you're moving with her. You step inside. There's blood on the floor. You begin to panic, almost as if it's like a lived through emotion that you're feeling some of the same things once she had felt. As you go in further, you see two tieflings on the floor, very clearly dead. The creature that you had seen before, hunched over it, ripping chunks of flesh off of it. You hear a scream. It takes you a moment to notice it's come from yourself. It's kind of not kicked out so much as it seems like you've hit a repressive wall. You're not sure how much further you can go, but you're getting the sense that this family was affected by this creature. A point in which Scarlet was not in the house, but their parents were.
While I'm looking, I'd like to try casting Calm Emotions as well. See if that helps me get just a little bit deeper.
Okay. Detect thoughts. Are either of those concentration? I don't remember. Both or one or
Yes.
one
Both
of them
are.
is. Both
Okay.
are okay.
Go nuts. We're about to take a nap.
You can definitely cast Calm Emotions, but it'll probably make it will make your detect thoughts fall as you can only concentrate on one at a time.
Can I keep up the telepathic speech?
Yes, you can keep up that.
Okay.
That's just a linker, yeah.
Cool. Yeah, then I'll do that for her.
Okay.
If she's willing.
Yeah, she said you're allowed to do this.
Cool. Okay.
Yeah. And you feel a wave of calm rush over you in the same way it's probably rushing over her. You still feel that sense of panic and dread in the dream, but it's a lot calmer now. It's not as nearly as oppressive as it had been.
Mhm.
And you see the thing's face turn to look at you. Mouth stained in blood, stretched wide in a smile that seems to almost be ripping the corners of its mouth. It's so wide. Before you can get much more of a look, you're turning, you're running, you're back outside. You keep going further, further, further. So you find your sister far away. However you got to the back into the town, you don't know, as the creature you assumed probably would have followed you. You're crying. You're gently being shushed by your sister who can't quite comprehend yet what has happened, just that you're upset.
Yeah, then at that point I'll drop it and kind of squeeze her hands a bit. So sorry.
You see as you open your own eyes that hers are pretty much open now, a little misty. You get the sense that she's not really shied away from these thoughts, like she wanted to fully process what had happened instead of walling it away, and you got that sense earlier, even just in her letting you look at this. She kind of sniffs a little bit, just says, "It's fine, it happened a few years ago, I guess 2 years now. It's coming up on the anniversary.
And I
Do you
offer
think
her
that's why it might be coming back?
a really wrinkly handkerchief.
She takes it, doesn't seem bothered by the fact that it's dirty, and just, thank you. It's she's like patting her face and stuff like that, and it's like a gross handkerchief, and she just doesn't seem at all bothered that there's dirt on it. Yeah.
Just been in that sweaty breast pocket,
Oh yeah.
Has a little bit of slime on it, but
Yeah.
Maybe a little blood too, because
She's the druid. She doesn't care.
yeah,
But yeah, she's just. Weirdly, I find it kind of therapeutic, not to relive it, just somebody else has been able to see it. I've only been able to tell my sister words, and she knows it was terrible, but she never. I'm thankful she never saw it. Not like I did.
it's definitely the same thing, darling.
I'm very certain it was the same thing. I mean, I have nightmares of it when it seems close. Not nightmares seeing it or this or that, just I can always tell when it's nearing because my sleep gets so much more fretful. Sometimes I don't even tell Scarlet when I get bad dreams. Just she can notice that I have, dark circles under my eyes, and she always notices. She's a good sister like that. At this point, you both watch her like do that and like kind of like tap under her eyes, and she's like, "Well, appearances, I just thank you. You guys should really go get some rest. You've had a day.
You as
Well, I've
well.
gathered. You almost died from what I hear."
Oh, well, he got caught a little off guard. He's normally a lot better.
Oh, no, I don't. I mean, everybody has moments if they adventure where they almost die. It's normal. Just don't actually die. That's bad for your health.
Yeah, please don't die on me.
Can't leave your beautiful lady here just without you.
Aw, Rosie.
For your sake, darling, I shall redouble my efforts.
Well, thank you so much, Rosie, for letting me look into it. And I hope that it helps you out a little bit, okay?
I thank you for helping. It's not many
Sure.
people can do what you do, and you use it well. So
Well, thank you. I'm glad it benefits some people here and there.
sure, it benefits more than you maybe think.
Why don't you go get some rest? I'll have breakfast and all that kind of stuff in the morning. I always get up really early and make food. Oh,
Sugar, you are just too cute.
I mean, usually Scarlett's asleep with like a hangover, so somebody has to do it.
Well, I noticed because she was talking about saying how we all need to be up and ready in the morning or we'll be useless. And I can't help but seeing that she's really just drinking herself dry.
She has a very high tolerance. It's been like this for a while, you know.
Yeah, I could just tell the irony.
Yes, I think shockingly, I think she's gonna wake up just fine, which is, it's kind of rude, but I sometimes wish she woke up a little with more side effects, just so that she was kind of like, oh, I shouldn't do that again, but it's okay. It's okay.
Well, good for her. You need to hold on to that as long as you're young. I wish I could still do that. You rest easy, dear.
You too. If you go upstairs to the other room where your friends are, there's like a nice little room down at the end of the hallway with a purple door. And it's just like our guest room. I think you two would love it. Yeah. There's extra
Aw.
pillows, blankets, all of that. Unless someone's already taken it. And Dose, you'll figure it out.
Well, at least you're honest. Well, anything you need to ask, dear?
No,
Do you have any food allergies?
She took that as like you asking, is there anything that she needs to ask? Yeah.
Oh, well, I don't.
no, immaculate constitution, me. Yes. I'm sure I'll eat anything that you kids can eat.
Severely lactose intolerant.
Yeah.
But
Oh,
It's nothing but cheese in
Delphie
the
doesn't
morning.
like things too spicy, though, if you don't mind.
and Huxley will need quite a lot of coffee.
We always have lots of coffee. Don't worry. It'll be fine.
He'll probably just try to put out his cigarettes in it, but he really should drink it. We'll work on it.
Probably should get some water in him too. He's so small.
And with that, like she's kind of like walking off, like thinking about like, how can I get a glass of water into that tiny man? Like that's the thought as she's walking away. And like you get a hint of that, Esther, just from that link that you've had. You get that little hint of just like, how can I do this? She's walking off.
Poor guy's kidneys are shot.
Yeah,
What
she'll
did you put in
definitely keep
this?
that to herself, but just
It's
kind of like
water.
Spicy
he needs
water.
that new liquid death.
So we'll head upstairs to the guest room to see if it is occupied or not.
It shouldn't be because no one had already taken it. So
Take a look at the bed and
you
think,
do walk by the living room and see Maura just like completely straight.
Nice.
I just still love the like on Delphie.
Yeah.
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 so nice of them to offer us beds. So few people realize that elves only use them for recreational purposes.
Well, sure. Hey, I mean, I still need to sleep every now and then. Not all of us get that pleasure, you know.
Oh, that's right. I'm terribly sorry. Yes. Well,
He's over here like, I don't want to sleep. How you doing?
Virgil just kind of sits up and he's like, well, now what? Like when you're the first to wake up at a sleepover, and so you're just like,
you get some rest, darling, and I'll I pull out my book from my pack and I lay my my rifle out across my lap because as long as I have the rifle, we have a warning measure, So I'll put that on my lap and I'll pull out my book. You go ahead and get some rest, darling. I'm just going to do a bit of reading, see if I can discover anything about this howler, as Huxley calls it.
Well, if you need anything, just holler.
So,
She'll lean down and give him a kiss on the head, and then she'll go to.
Right. Go to Huxley real quick. With the roll that you had for intelligence, you're able to figure out you can cast invisibility. You can do those kind of things that make you unseen to the naked eye. Rolled high enough though that whatever you do doesn't seem to get rid of the mark. Even if you alter self, you can still kind of see a faint bit of it through the skin, like through the illusion. And that makes you wonder if there's ever any true hiding when it comes to this thing and this mark on you. Eventually, all of you are able to find rest. Fitful for some of you, maybe calmer for others. I'm going to kind of go in the order here of who went to sleep at what time. So, Delphie, starting with our dear little Delphie. You wake up from what you clearly know is a dream. It's very much like a lucid dream. You can hear a very gentle rumble off in the distance, something very calming, something you've heard before. And as you turn, you see that you're in a very familiar, long hallway. You've seen it before. The top is open. There's no roof on this hallway. It's just nothing but stars. You can see that giant lumbering titan far off in the distance, letting out tiny little rumbled snores. You get the sense that you've done well by Ozolith today. Maura, you had asked for guidance, for help. As you begin to come into a dream, feel a presence behind you. You don't see anything, but you feel a very familiar press of a loving hand with a hint of dangerous claws kind of press into the skin of your throat. Something you felt before. It's something you often feel when your God is present talking to you. You hear that same slithery voice that you're used to hearing. Just, you do so well today.
I'm doing
A
my best.
creature. Raids is one of us great ones. Think it'd be a good time in which we ignore the masses briefly. Have no new targets for you other than the creature. That is your goal right now. Get rid of it. And as it says this, you feel the claws gently pressing at your cheek.
Mm.
The way that at first when you began feeling this feeling, your worries was leaving scratches was something bad. You've now come to notice is something that's very tender and loving. And just, great one is ever pleased. He sleeps on. You and your cousin have done great. Continue to be my champion. And with that, you feel the hands leave you. You fall into a dreamless sleep. Every now and then just having flashes of the creature that you saw.
Am I able to talk to him like while
Yeah,
I'm out?
you can ask. Yeah.
I just have one request. Are we
Anything, my
strong enough for
champion?
this?
I believe you're strong enough. Just don't get over your head. Don't underestimate it. Maybe parading is a god, that doesn't mean it is one.
Okay. Sorry, I
You're my
don't care
champion
so much
for a
what happens
reason.
to me. I'm sorry, go again.
It's saying like you're my champion for a reason kind of thing.
I don't care so much what happens to me. I still got work to do for you, I know that. But if this thing touches Esther, Delphie, I need to know that I can put it down.
Won't be very easy, but I have faith.
Always do. And I'll just
Very,
walk.
very much that like a little murder baby like tapping.
The Mushu, my little baby, off to destroy people.
It's a
So
knife,
she's
used it
killed
well.
so many innocents.
For Huxley, you eventually fall asleep, probably in the midst of trying different spells, different things that you're trying to see what might hide things. You eventually fall asleep. You have a fairly normal sleep for you, but for others, what might be kind of full, not nearly as deep as you might want it to be. You have a very common, familiar dream, which you're sitting in a dark room, the pool of blood in front of you, and a bolt sitting right in the middle. It's silent, no one is around you. Eventually, as you begin to fall into a deeper sleep, that dream fades. You're left with yourself, with your thoughts as you sleep. Go to Esther now. I was going to call you. I was going to call you Easter for a second. No,
Easter!
Esther.
Eggs!
You, as you come into your dream, find yourself sitting on one of those like acrobat hanging things, like not like the ribbon hanging things, but just like one of those large round.
Like Moulin Rouge, kind of.
Yeah, yeah. You
Hell
find
yeah.
yourself sitting in one of those. You've probably been in many before, just from your shows. As you look out, you see something you've seen many times before. That is that you're surrounded by a vast sea, like you yourself are in a tiny ring that seems to be completely dropless of water. And you can see weaving shape moving around in this water, something you've seen before, something aboleth-like. Despite these bad memories of things that once happened, you don't seem bothered. You seem fairly calm. Very much in the way that you had faced the monster earlier with complete confidence. You could handle it. Find yourself just relaxing there, sitting in what is almost like a little bird cage surrounded by water, humming a little tune to yourself. Now for the the crackpot, Virgil. Virgil, you have a dream you've had before. You've had this dream many times before. You're walking through empty hallways and you can hear reverberating screams, weird noises, things that you've all heard at a very bad moment from your past. Unlike before, when you round the corner into a specific room, you don't see Genevieve, you don't see the creature. That is just an empty room. It's quiet for a moment, till you hear a faint, very, very soft, a voice you recognize in Genevieve's voice. Virgil, my sweet, it's not your time.
Genevieve. Oh, I'll probably get younger now. Genevieve?
Full head of hair, no.
Just this flowing mane.
Still got hair, it's just white now. Genevieve.
Finn Adventure Time.
No, I'm not really here, Virgil. I wanted you to know it's not your time. I had a scare today. I'm no longer around, but she needs you. It's not your time. Wake up. Wake up. Virgil, wake up. This is a dream. And it's like a slap as you find yourself sitting up in your chair and you immediately glance to your journal, wondering if it has anything written in it new for you to see. That's where we're going to end this week because we've been going for 3.5 hours.
Spooky!
Yay!
Boy.
Ty, that was
Thank you, Tyler.
awesome!
Trying. I don't prepare for anything. I just kind of go for it.
I don't understand how you can succeed
You're
and
a
not prepare
low
for
prep,
things.
heavy improv DM.
Yeah. And I can only prep as a player, so that's just impressive to me.
Yeah,
Fun. I love
that
our
was our
little crew
wrap.
so much.
Right?
Oh, you guys are great.
That was
So
so
excited.
spooky! Oh god, and it's
Okay,
only gonna
guys.
get worse!
I'll try non-detection
Yes!
tomorrow. It'll be okay. It's a 3rd level spell.
Non-detection?
Oh, we love non-detection in this house.
I've never heard of that. Why have I never heard of that?
It's a new thing. I'm working on some stuff.
It's something new.
Ooh boy, guys, what a stream! This is the last Misty Mountain Monday of the month. We are
We hit our
met-
goal.
we met our sub goal.
Yay!
We crushed it. I think we're 21. I don't know. We're above it. We're somewhere above it. I can't see.
Damn, buh.
The numbers are over there. Fantastic, wonderful. You guys will all have me not looking forward to something to look forward to.
Always a plus.
you know, I'll have to seriously start thinking about how to actually make that happen. So Ty will be talking about other things very soon.
Thanks for hanging out with us
Um,
so late,
Ooh.
guys. We are at the high point of the
Yeah.
Yeah,
stream right
totally.
now at
Yeah.
10:41.
Thank you.
Yeah, there's we still have a lot of people hanging out for this. I think that this is definitely going to be an adventure to watch all the way to the end, brief though it may be. Definitely keep coming back for this. Come back for these characters. Come back for this story. Come back to see me die. It's gonna be
Yeah.
Woohoo!
gonna be a real good time. 58 hit points don't seem like much. Okay. So, real quick announcements. Thank you, Sheepish Lamb, if you're still here for the raid. We didn't
yeah.
we didn't mention that
we
aloud when it
didn't.
happened, but thank you so much. Hey to my buddy Hall of Justice, who came in late for the stream. I know you had a long day of travel back from your convention. That'll be me tomorrow. And then the following day, on Wednesday, some of us will be back on screen trying to die for your entertainment again. With our Wild Beyond the Witchlight campaign.
Got close.
Hey,
last
wild
week.
chaos.
Got real close.
Following that, Friday will be Oh My Sophie's second Dice Goblin stream and the fruits of last month's efforts, where I will be doing the goblin makeup. Basically,
Goblin.
you can consider this a dry run for when I become a purple tiefling druid.
Yeah.
See if I have any knack for this whatsoever, because whether or not I'm good at it, there will be photos. It's just they might not be.
Roblin.
We're inching ever closer. We're only 46 followers away from my personal Misty Mountain Gear giveaway. So be sure to be
Oh,
telling your
yeah.
friends, have them come back, watch the VOD for this, be ready next week when we're all back again. And in the meantime, yeah, anybody else got anything?
We
I
love
think
you
so.
guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll be back to continue the spookies next week. So
Yes.
I'm looking forward
Alright.
to it, especially the later it goes, the better it gets.
Right.
Spooky,
Yeah.
scary, spooky, scary.
Well, I, for one, have to be on a plane in a few short hours and basically only got 2 hours of sleep last night, so
Oh.
I'm going to throw some pizza in my face, drink the rest of this scotch, and call it an evening.
Scotch?
So,
Perfect.
scotch!
gotta go take a whole ass shower now. So.
Oh, yes. You
Yep.
definitely do.
Power way
Um,
this in. Yeah.
hmm
I do
So,
too. It is hot in
uh,
your studio. I was trying to get this fan to blow directly up my shorts.
Thank you. Some sympathy. All right. Well, until Wednesday when we see you again, guys, as always, in case you don't hear it anywhere else this week, we love you guys, as Maddy said.
Mm-hmm.
And until next time, farewell and Godspeed, friends and adventurers. Have a good night. And Steve, now you hit the going away button on the stream.
5 minutes from now, we're still.
Yeah.
Bye now. Goodbye. Goodbye now. Thank you for coming. Goodbye.
Bye. Goodbye.
Oh my God.